my god, you guys should see my garage right now. My husband went way overboard with a Dungeon Forge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's his new addiction.
Very expensive addiction.
Yeah, apparently he got good deals. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what all husbands say when they are spending
Exactly.
Oh, I
shit.
got a deal on that. That was originally 29 grand. I got it for 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least it ain't golf clubs.
There you go.
At least it's something you can have fun with too.
That was my other thought. Is like, this is something that we can actually enjoy together, because I would
Yeah.
not enjoy golfing.
Yeah, see? Gotta look on the bright side. At least he has
Plus
a hobby you like too.
Plus, our oldest one has started getting really into D&D, so that helps too.
Good.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Tobias, did you go through your notes?
What about
Anything that might help us, beat this particular task?
We are not smart players.
Well, I have an idea, but yeah, I was hoping to. I have an idea of how to do this. It only depends if it works.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
And
generally
I feel like I
so.
say it, and I feel like if I say
it's your idea.
yeah, well, I feel like if I say it in front of Jason, then it's not going to work. He's going to make sure it doesn't work.
Oh,
I mean, that's
yeah. When have I ever played you that way?
I just mess with you.
Not outspokenly have you done it, but privately we don't know.
Yeah, privately, without us knowing.
For shit.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Fire.
Hey, storyteller.
Yeah.
Did Fire ever go through the once she attuned to the bags, did I ever empty them?
No.
Okay. Because I got to do that.
what bags?
The everlasting pouch, it's got 6 bags of holding, and I never
Holy
emptied
moly.
them. Right. And I never emptied them.
I see. Should probably pull up Pepper's stats, because I never have them ready.
I think I don't know. I have an idea, but it's kind of out there.
Again, that's all your ideas.
I know. Hey, but sometimes they
Yep.
work.
Oh,
It has
my God, so-
Thyson is an integral part of it.
Uh-oh. A level 19 wizard?
Uh-huh.
I am terrified of all of you. Your level 19ness terrifies me.
That's crazy,
should be.
man.
My
You should
level
be
19
terrified
is
of
not
us.
much different from my level 10. It's fine.
That's right, you still are Samara.
Like, I'm still useless. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for having to roll dice, it'd be fine.
Right? If it wasn't for that
But as
pesky
soon as you start
detail.
rolling dice, you're like, I rolled a 9. I rolled an 8. I rolled a 10.
I rolled
rolled
double
11.
ones.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hey everybody, how you doing? We're back from our break. I appreciate everybody being
Yay.
patient with that. I had to I had to onboard a new player in one of my pay-to-play tables, and I knew it was going to run over that day, so I figured we might as well take a break and go that route. So we're back. We're at it. We're officially on session 105, episode 86. We've been playing for a while. Being level 19, I think, helps. Definitely
Yes.
helps.
Does it?
Does it really?
But
I don't know
does
about
it?
that.
Now I just have enemies that are immune to everything we do.
Well, yeah,
Well, they're
because
not
they
immune to
plan
stupid.
better.
Right.
No one's immune to stupid. That's still a thing. I
That's
think.
the problem.
I'm
Our
totally-
enemies keep getting smarter and we keep staying just
All right. All right, Dyson, do you want to hear my idea?
I literally could not be happier.
Really? Okay, great. So this is my idea. You use your wish to wish us back to the first time we met Qualish, and we battle him there. Dum.
I'm not saying we would
Travel
lose.
wish.
Huh.
but
Because
would
if we kill him there, that disrupts everything.
Does
I think if
it?
space-time continuing to collapse in on itself and the universe would cease to exist.
That's fine.
might.
We win.
It's fine. Whatever.
I mean, as long as we win, right? That's all that
Right.
matters. We just, supposed to win tonight. And every night
Whereas
we
children fade into nothingness.
Yeah.
Oh, that would suck.
That's
No.
right.
No.
That's what?
Mom, no!
play. Mars
Oh, that's
Attacks
right.
and-
Oh, yeah. Small prices to pay
for the preservation of the
for the
of
preservation of the multiverse.
Is there a multiverse though?
Good one though, right? That
Yeah,
could
it's
work.
pretty creative. I don't think Wish lets you time travel though.
It allows you to do whatever you think is applicable, and however much I can convince you of it.
Well, there's that argument.
Yes.
Which you are my son, so there is some creative licensing you could definitely try to get away with. But hey, Fire, you gonna turn on your camera tonight, or are you keeping it off?
Well, I have the screen open so that I can see Sebastian in the pen behind me.
A bunch of off-camera people, man. Come
I know.
on.
All right, hold on. We'll see if he gets upset.
It's like
that
me
I'm
and
posting.
Sam. And that's it.
Represent, man.
2-1-2.
I do hope when we finally make it to the finale, everybody will try to have their camera on.
Yeah, right.
The 4-hour finale.
I
That
just
would
don't
mean
know if Sebastian's
that would mean
gonna freak out.
Thyson and Asborn would have to get out of their put on more than their underwear that they're in right now. I'm sure.
As is Asborn sitting in his underwear eating steak.
Yeah,
There
right.
you go.
Not this time. It was gonna be bacon and rice tonight.
There you go.
Bacon and
Pocket
rice?
bacon. I don't like pocket bacon.
You said bacon and rice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
baking rice or bacon and rice? Or...
Bacon and rice.
Oh, okay. Protein and carbs.
Do you
all
bake
at the
it all
same time.
together, or do you separate and then put it on top?
Separate and put it on top.
Oh, okay.
Could you even
I'm just-
cook bacon in a rice cooker?
I don't
don't
think
know.
that would work.
I don't
I know
know
you can
what you
cook
can do
some-
with
Yeah,
stuff
it's literally
sometimes.
just a ceramic pot and a heating element. Of course you can.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
man.
gonna say you could cook.
Cooking
you can cook
bacon
anything
in
you want.
It would just be
water.
greasy rice.
That kind of sounds nasty. Because I know some meats you can,
Okay,
and it's
listen,
like better. Like
you
hot
did not
pot
ask
meat.
how nasty it would be. You just asked if you could, and I'm telling
Well,
you,
you know,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, of course
It
you
can be
could.
done.
I mean,
you
touche.
could summon
Is it-
abominations from the abyss. I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna be a good time.
I'm
Hey.
asking whether it should be done.
Well, here, dude, I've had tendon soup. So if you can make
No, that's
soup out of
normal.
tendons, I mean,
Wait, is that
I don't-
not a normal Asian dish? Tendon
Yeah,
soup? I
it
feel like
is.
that happens a lot. But
it is a
bacon
normal
soup-
Asian dish.
It's a.
It's
a common
real Chinese
ingredient
food. If you go down to,
Well, It's a common ingredient in pho too.
Yeah.
Beef
Yeah.
tendon. That's my favorite part about winter in Southern California is that I can start eating ramen and pho and a little bit more regularly because
you got to go to
it's
Fo
cold.
King Awesome. That's the best one.
Pho King awesome.
Fo King Awesome. Yeah,
I mean
like
that's an
Mama
obvious
Hong's
play
best.
on words, right?
yeah, of course.
Hey, let's go to fucking awesome.
It's pho.
It's fucking
King.
awesome.
Awesome.
So we're going to go back on our recap a bit.
Oh,
So
they know what's going on.
chasers have acquired the Moonlight small airship that was bought from a turtle, goes by the name of Arturus, and it was being maintained by a goblin that went by Brigands. This afforded the team to finally have a mode of transportation to both satisfy Tobias's need of having a ship that
Airship.
flies.
That's right.
It also satisfies the reality that they have to deal with the fact that they got to find this island and then figure out how to find what is ultimately this creature that is either Qualish or whatever it's become. Based on the trials and tribulations of Avernus, the team realized that the ultimate destruction of Qualish is probably the only way to set things aright. However, at this point, the team is traversing the shoreline area of the Menagerie Coast and heading to the far distant area of the border region between the Zorhashians and the Menagerie Coast, and a little bit more into areas unknown. After a scry attempt, they begin to realize that they think they know that the island called Chandra would be a good option, a good target to start this search. On the way there, they dealt with a Draco Lich and a swarm, and both of these seem to have come through the fact that the veil is weakening and coming apart. With that, magic has become unreliable, random. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't seem to work at all, sometimes it seems to rebound or have a different effect than its intent of what the spell is capable of doing. However, with these rifts on the horizon and having a very interesting interlude with the space-time continuum, the team fought their way out of a particular trap that was set about the island, allowing them to finally pass through and back into their plane of existence and finally be able to approach and proceed towards the island. Had they not done what they'd done, they would have been forever trapped in those interplanes of existence, and well, we'd be done with the campaign. But they managed to figure it out just barely, because Tobias asked the one simple question: do I believe this is happening? And therefore passed his wisdom save and was able to help the others out of their controlled environment that they were in. Once landing on the island of Chandra, they began to realize that something very strange was going on here, as strange tentacle-like entities were attached to individuals, indigenous people of this island, and they were all trapped in various states of suspended animation. However, once daytime became nighttime and the sun set, the team had decided to go back to the Moonlight airship. And it was at that point, just as the sun set, the massive island began to submerge itself underwater. The great volcano in the middle still active as it submerged itself, to the point to where a small portion of the volcano was in the background, but the great red caldera at the edge of the waterline. And from this vantage point now, arcane strikes of light from the different rifts feeding into the caldera, great gouts of both magical infusions of arcane geysers spewing out of the caldera, as well as lava and steam beginning to issue out of the caldera. It is currently the beginning of the evening. You guys are in the small airship, the Moonlight, currently circling over this space. What would you guys like to do?
Don't we also have that kid with us? We brought him on our ship with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The
You
small
mean,
child.
Did we
I
find
don't
out
think it
his
was a
name?
kid. I think it was just a halfling, wasn't it? Or no?
You
it
mean
was
the
an
evil
in-
god
He was
that's
a
it was
teenager.
disguised as a halfling?
Yeah, it was an indigenous child of one of the families.
That's actually the Lord of Chaos.
It's probably Qualish.
It's Qualish.
Suspicious.
Throw 'em
Okay, bring up
overboard.
my goggles. I'm gonna look at the kid. Is the kid magic?
I think you already did that
I don't
when you
remember.
were on the island.
Is the kid magic?
I think when you did it on the island, you began to realize that
Everything's magic.
yeah, like the entire environment was awash with magic to the point your goggles were just kind of blue lighted out, or black lighted out. You just it's almost as if everything is just giving off a magical portent.
Right, but we're not on the island anymore. We're on the ship.
Same situation. You're in the area of the island.
So even the air above is magical.
Does he
Although
look
I
like a
would
dead
say-
zone?
I would say that you using your goggles at this height, being off the island, every time you see an arcane strike from the rifts that are open off in the distance and it strikes the edge of the caldera, your eyes go blind, like wearing night vision goggles.
Flash.
There's like a pulse of heavy light from the effect. Actually, what's your passive perception again? It's pretty high, right?
This is like 30.
This is like really high.
It's 20.
20.
Not my passive perception. Natty 20.
Okay.
I should pull out dice too.
Gee, thanks.
I mean, they're
You're
just
gonna need
right here. They sit on my desk all the time. Let me see what he's doing.
Okay,
falling
well, we have the option of
Wait,
waiting
wait.
until daylight.
My passive perception.
What's our
Oh
option?
yeah, the one thing that you kind of notice with each arcane strike, there's something in those strikes. Like there's objects or things in those arcane strikes that seem to be passing through and into the caldera. Whether it's
I'm gonna tell the group that.
whether it's humanoid figures or just objects, you're not entirely sure.
Guys, stuff is being transferred in those lightning strikes. They're data transfers. What's data?
What's data?
Well, what is it? What's being transferred?
I don't know. It's hard to tell if they're objects or creatures. I mean, that one just looked like a cell phone. The one that just happened just now, I mean, it looked like a small child.
I hate you so much right now.
The one that just happened right now, I mean, that one looked like a puppy with wings.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I know, it's very strange.
yeah, I don't want to touch those.
But we got to figure out what, I mean, we get. All right. Out of character. You said at the end of last game that a creature that we recognized crawled out of the caldera and flew off.
I would say you would have recognized it because of its difference in size. It reminded you of the undead dragon that Qualish rode into the attempt at kidnapping Samara during that point. I believe that was at Trestenwald or
Right.
Rexentrum. Maybe it was Rexentrum.
Okay. But when we scried on Qualish and the Dragon Lich, they were up north in a very cold land, in the Graying Lands, right?
There was that, yeah.
So was the scry wrong or is this wrong?
He might have
I'm
more
going to
than
bring that
one.
up to the group.
He might have more than one at this point. Does the caldera look like it? So
Does the volcano look like the volcano that was in the scry?
It seems to have the same kind of overall appearance.
Is it
But it's
Where did
not
it-
in a
where
very
did the-
cold land?
where did it exactly come out of? Did it come out of a cave or
Just crawled out of the edge of the caldera as it was forming after the island sunk and submerged. It just seemed to crawl out and fly in the direction of the north, in the general direction of the Morrow.
Does the caldera look like it's got like lava in it, or is it like a caldera that's in water? Like if we get closer, is something going to shoot
It's
out
above
at us?
it's above the water line.
Does it look like the picture behind you?
Yes.
Okay. So it
Okay.
looks like there's lava.
But it's not like, is it
Boiling hot
flowy lava,
magma.
or is it like the shooting lava?
Like pools.
Okay.
And the caldera's edge is a crater edge that kind of demarks the difference between.
It gently cups the lava in its hand.
Okay.
In its stony embrace.
In its stony embrace.
It gently
yes.
cups.
I like
It
that.
gently cups
Gently
the lava.
cups the lava in its stony embrace.
So do we want to land by the caldera?
No, but we should. No, no.
No,
but we probably
should.
are gonna. Well, I mean,
how else are we gonna
okay,
find more?
last
Well, we
game-
should just. I want to fly over and see what's
last game he
there.
Last game he said the island creature was there, floating
Yeah,
around.
it is
the caldera.
currently circling the island in kind of like a protective manner.
So why don't we
Okay,
tackle
and
that first?
That was kind of my thought. But first, I want to pinch myself. Is this real? Pinch.
It feels real. Doesn't feel nearly as
I'm gonna pull
confusing.
some of my
as
hair
that.
out.
Yeah,
Is this real?
it's not nearly as confusing as that previous situation that you guys were in.
Okay. All right.
Can we see the creature swimming around?
Give me perception as you scan the surface of the water.
I is
I'm
looking to.
very perceptive. Ooh, that's actually pretty perceptive.
I got a 24.
23. 23 for me.
Okay. Trying to find something because it's been a while since I took a look at that.
Yeah, because we should probably tackle the. I pull out into my bag and I pull out the island creature's bag off my belt. Yeah,
Yeah, you still have it.
I do.
Do you know the secret word?
And
The magic
secret
word?
summoning word. You say summon, actually.
Okay.
You have to be within 5 feet of it, and you say summon.
Okay. Oof.
The
Okay.
bag to pull the creature in from 5 feet away. Say summon.
Okay, let's do that first.
Those are some notes.
And as long as it doesn't have a a portal underneath it
Bite
that's
your
killing
tongue.
it with a no, because remember it looked like it was dying and there was a portal that Shulamon had put what's her face on in,
Yeah.
and that's what was killing it, and then we saved it but didn't.
I mean, Mara and I could
Anyways.
dive under.
It's moving, so I highly doubt it's got that portal that's killing it underneath it anymore.
So how do
Because
we want to get close
stopped
to it?
Who can fly?
Mhm.
Technically,
All right.
Bison as well, I think, right?
Do you wanna carry me? And
Okay.
or maybe we summon giant eagles and we all fly.
I think some of us should stay on the ship as backup
I agree.
because something crazy is going to happen and we're not going to be able to get within 5 feet of it. Does our ship? I
Well-
always forget because I never write it down. Our ship has cannon.
No,
it's
ballista.
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 So
Two
Um,
crossbows.
I remember because it's got Callista, ballista, Callista.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Mhm. Awesome.
So hey, I have a
But I'm thinking
nephew
of-
that calls me anti-ballista, so
Pretty badass.
yeah.
then
Well,
I
Tobias
think, yeah.
can still shoot it from up in the ship. So if
Yeah.
if he has to shoot stuff, he can reach.
Okay. Asborn,
I just-
Bison, thoughts?
I just kind of want to go because I kind of want to catch it for my.
I think you
know,
should because it's your
travel.
bag.
Yeah,
I can't do
That's
much.
your
looking
bag,
for.
baby.
that's not my bag, baby.
That's not my bag, baby.
It's not
Thank
my
you for
bag,
the follow,
baby.
Laura. Total 15.
Woohoo,
Appreciate
follow!
that. We're up to
Thank you for following
512
us.
followers now. Don't
A
forget
warranty
to check
card
out
filled
our
up by fire.
socials, and if you ever want to hang out with us, head on over to our Discord.
So I'm carrying
book.
fire. Do we
Yeah.
want to have anybody set up distractions so that she can get close enough?
Yeah, because if we remember correctly, and by we I mean me, it had creatures that came out that were like gross and melty and fishy and try and convert you into their own fishiness. Am I
Everything that
remembering
we
that
come
correctly?
across has been gross.
Okay.
You're, as Rick tells Marty, you're, as usual, you're 15% right.
Okay, look. Here's what we do. I fly down
Think
there.
about 20% off the top there, Squirrely Dan.
How, Tobias? In the ship, or
In the ship.
I don't think the ship should get close. That thing's going to attack the ship, and then you're going
Right.
to have no flying ship.
Why fire goes down there and does what she needs to do. We'll create a distraction. You know, we have magic users that have like ranged weapons. I have ranged weapons. We can stand off and shoot it and pummel it with stuff until fire can get done with what she's doing.
What if we went underneath it, Fire? If we cast water breathing on you and I turned into some water animal and we could go underneath it to catch it?
Well, the
less
fishy people
distracting?
could still be underwater.
Okay.
And I don't think the creature has eyeballs in this form, so it's probably got some sort of blind sight, so I don't think it matters whether it's above or below. But we should
Wait,
probably still cast water
how
breathing.
far is it right
Anyways.
You guys are currently circling the area at about 200 feet. And I'll say you easily see where the creature's floating, the kind of like the perimeter of the island, and you're kind of keeping pace with it. So you're slightly behind it and 200 feet up in the air, following the creatures. It just kind of, it seems, what's really interesting is that it's its large form. It doesn't really seem to either care or be concerned about you being there, or maybe it hasn't noticed that you're there. And it's not in its hybrid island form. It's in its kind of like more kind of bestial form.
Does it look like
So
part
it
of it's out of
looks
the water?
more like a tentacle creature?
Yeah. And there occasionally it surfaces the water and breaches the water. And I'll say with those perception rolls, you can't help but notice every time you see it breach, there are hundreds of tendrils that are off to the interior portion of the beast in the direction of the lowered portion of the island.
Are those tendrils similar to the ones that we saw attached to the people?
Looks a lot like them.
So
So
that
don't
blobby
get attacked
thing.
by the tendrils.
So that blobby thing that we saw when the island was above the water might have been the creature, guys.
Could have been.
True.
You get the feeling that this creature is now somehow integrated somehow in with this island.
So we're trying to grab the creature, right?
Yes.
Okay. How big is the creature?
It's pretty big. It's probably about
It's the
1,000
size
feet
of
long,
mine.
500 feet wide.
Okay.
Last time you guys interacted with it, it was able to turn itself into a pretty small sized island. It produced the false kind of center portion of it. And that's where you looked through that center portion and saw the halfling submerged below that little well of water. And it was in between kind of like a state of a portal that was open below her, and magic was being drawn from the creature at the same time.
So we want to
And that's
stay
why it
away
was
from the
showing
tentacle
signs of like it was dying.
All right. So if we I don't know. Maybe okay, if I polymorph, can I still talk? Like dragons
have-
can still talk, right?
You have the psychic link or whatever. What is
Yeah.
it called? Telepathy. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but I mean, can I still use the bag? Like if I get polymorphed into a dragon, because I know Thyson can do that. If I get polymorphed into a dragon, and then I fly down there and I summon, I mean, does it count if it's in dragon? Because I can speak Draconic.
And as far as you
anyways.
know, it's merely invoke the term summon while within 5 feet of the creature, and it should allow the bag to absorb the creature. As far as
It
you
doesn't
know,
matter
you
the
were
language?
told that the bag was a gateway back to where it was brought from.
Right.
I could use hold monster on it,
Oh, that would come in clutch.
and I have a lot of those I could burn. What if
Okay,
we
so
hold monster it and then we harpoon it onto the ship, or harpoon
can't-
it closer?
I don't think we can harpoon it onto the ship. It's 1,000 feet. Our ship is like me, and
If
it's
we-
like meh.
If
saying.
we if we hold monster, and then in a clutch, Thyson could use the automatic. It automatically fails its save. Then we could just go down there and suck it into the bag.
I think, yeah, Tobias, you should just pull the ship lower so that you're there as backup with the ballista and with your guns.
Yeah, I'll do more damage with my guns than a ballista.
Or whatever. We've got
Both of me.
Asborn holding. Oh, that's right. Asborn holding monster. Fire. We can transform her and get her closer. And Thyson and I can be running kind of like background distraction.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
Dyson also has hold monster. You guys can deal with the fish people if they come.
Can we can't double up on hold monster though.
No, but like if we need to run through that many is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Because I believe I have a few slots. I have 1, 2,
Yeah,
3,
you
4.
do.
And then Tyson has like 8, 6, or like 9-ish hold monsters.
Okay.
So someone has to hold the bag while I'm polymorphed. That way, it doesn't get polymorphed into me.
Okay.
Just saying. If we
wait.
polymorph me, what do you think, Thyson?
Why do you need to be a dragon again?
I don't need to be a dragon.
You don't
I
need
was
to be a
thinking
dragon.
That can be a flying creature.
Why
that
don't you
has
go
a
down
lot
to
of
like
hit
with your
points.
tensor's floating disc and then just go down there and take
But
care
she
of it?
also needs. But to be honest, she also needs more hit points. What if it hits her while she's in the air? As soon as it hits her with one whack from the tentacles or whatever, it's going to kill her, and then she's going to be dropping as fire.
Well, if it's doing the same thing, it
Well, I
doesn't
mean, we
kill
don't
you,
get
it
close to it
paralyzes
until
you
we
and,
hold
like,
monster it.
sucks you into its mouth, and because every time we hit it, it's gonna suck someone into its mouth and heal if it is the creature that we saw earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my hold monster works at 90 feet away, so we just hover in the air until I get it. And then we can get close whenever we want.
Okay. I mean, let's give it a try.
Okay. Fly us in, Tobias, a little bit lower.
Wait. Well, I guess
What?
this isn't the one with Qualish, but I had a hero's feast prepared. While we're doing all of this, what's the dude doing?
The child?
The child.
He's both fascinated and terrified at the same time.
Insight check.
I don't
Give me
trust
an
him.
insight check if you want.
Is this real fear?
Is this real?
Yeah,
fear?
there's nobody ever just tags along with us. It's something insidious. We need to throw it
Okay,
overboard.
what we can do is we can put them in a room, lock
I don't
them
even
in, and
care
have
about
one
my
of the
morality.
familiars be in the room to watch over him.
I got 19 plus 10, 29.
Wow.
Insight check.
I mean, this kid is scared, but kind of fascinated, looking over the rail and kind of talking to himself like he can't believe what he's seeing. He seems genuine.
Okay. I believe him. He's
Would it
alive.
hurt?
or was
Would
an
it
hour
would it
ago.
hurt though to put him in a room with a familiar in
I
it,
mean,
We can.
why?
just in
Just in
case?
case.
Couldn't hurt. Also, it would be slightly annoying if he was on deck when we get attacked. If we get
And then we
attacked,
have to like save him.
save him.
I
Yeah,
mean, when we get attacked. I mean, when. It's gonna be a when.
not
Why don't
a
we
if.
dangle him
It-
from a
Can we
rope?
make it an if?
We-
Use him
What?
as bait.
Yeah, use him as
We're
bait.
not
We'll dangle it in front of the
Out
island
loud
monster.
while he's
Using
there. You're not
innocent
saying this
people
out
as
loud
bait.
while he's there, right?
Okay.
Put him on
they
a
are.
giant hook.
You're not saying this out loud while he's right there. Are
I'm
you?
gonna
No.
grab Dyson's little silly mouse familiar, his little rat familiar, out of his pocket, and bring the child
forgot
with
that he
me
had
to a
that.
room, and then we're gonna place them in together. Wait, Dyson. Oh, this silly.
No.
No. Can you
No.
see what your familiar sees?
Only if
You
you're
have
forging through
to.
them.
You have to look through their eyes.
But
It's
yes,
a-
you can do that,
intense.
right?
Yes.
You can, but
Okay.
you would be useless on deck.
Oh,
You
it
can have
locks
this
him.
in the-
It's not like pepper.
Yes, it's concentrate. No, it's the
Okay.
No,
same
it's,
thing.
it's just
No,
like
it's the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
your
let's just use Dyson's because he doesn't use them as much. I toss the rat and I bring the kid into a room.
You toss the rat.
Yeah, I toss it in the room like a plushie. Just toss it on the bed.
You know, it's only got like what? Okay, on the bed. All right, I'll accept that.
The kid
we just-
reluctantly accepts your guidance into the room, and you shut the door.
Okay, I'm gonna board it up with chairs. I don't trust this kid.
And what if our ship falls and sinks and then he dies in there?
Okay, I mean, it's not like he's gonna live without us anyways.
It's called unlucky.
Unlucky, yeah. I
We
bring
are
him food
horrible
before I
people.
leave.
Hey, how about we just?
Hey, the last time we brought a child on the
minutes.
ship, it was a demon. Okay.
Thank
A
you.
Y'all
demon
got
in
burned
child's
one too many
clothing.
times.
Okay. I meet
Okay.
everyone back on ship. Let's lower the ship to my hold monster level.
Okay.
Okay.
Keeping pace with it. Tobias, give me a sleight of hand as you're piloting the ship.
We're trying to be stealthy,
Okay.
so everyone, shh.
We're not a flying ship in the air, guys. Just close your eyes down there.
I can't
22?
without a trace. There's no way.
I'm sorry, 21. 21.
Shit.
21. The occasional arc of arcane strikes along the edge of the caldera kind of force you to have to pivot and move in certain ways, but you manage to move and lower to the 90-foot level. You're slightly a few feet behind where the creature surfaces, goes under, surfaces, go under. You get the timing pretty much down to best you can. You're now within range, Asborn.
I'm going to cast hold monster at 5th level.
As you do, you feel it dissipate
Shit.
as it sheds a legendary resistance to avoid it.
Does it react in any way?
No, continues doing what's been doing.
I cast it again at 5th level.
We'll use its second legendary resistance.
Fine, we're
An
burning through 'em.
arcane strike is about to hit the ship. Tobias, give me a sleight of hand, please.
Ah, move! Bear left, bear left. I mean, lightning left, lightning left.
29.
29. Just out of the corner of your eye, Tobias, you watch as an arcane strike from one of the rifts just barely misses the front of the ship. Goes right by, hits the edge of the caldera. You then watch as another one from behind kind of like rips right over the surface of the deck, forcing everyone to have to duck.
It's aiming at us. Right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
It's aiming at us.
Um,
Using the creature as bait.
what's the spell Dyson has? Globe of protection? I forgot that spell. Globe of
know.
immunity? Something like that?
Invulnerability.
Yes, I think it was that one.
Invulnerability.
We can do that, and then every time we have to cast a spell, we just peek out of it and then duck back in.
I think there's a limit to its size, though.
I don't think it works that way.
Is it not? I haven't read the spell in a long time. Where is it?
Let's see.
Globe of vulnerability 5e. Okay.
It's a 10-foot sphere.
Yes. Targeted on self. Immobile, faintly showing barrier.
It would only be around a couple of us.
Yes. Any spell of 5th level or lower cast from outside can't affect creatures or objects within it. But then the lightning strikes are bigger than that
Probably
anyways.
higher than 5th level. Ow, don't
Yeah.
pinch-
You're assuming
Oh my
they're spells.
Yeah. If there's spells.
Okay. Okay. Are you hungry?
We've said they seem arcane, right?
Well, I mean, they feel arcane. They have the brightness, the hue. They're coming out of those rifts, and some are striking the caldera. And currently, every time you notice Asborn trying to dominate this creature, it seems to strike the arcane. There's a couple times the arcane strikes have gotten incredibly close to the ship.
So my question, and this is probably a weird question, Amara, how fast are they hitting us in terms of like when we're seeing them? Do we have leeway to like try and move the ship around?
There's
Serpentine.
there's not a pattern other than it seems the ones that strike the caldera are the only ones that have a consistent pattern. Maybe every 2 to 3 minutes, a strike comes out of a rift, hits the caldera. The creature is now interrupting that pattern slightly every time Asborn tries to cast a spell on it, almost like it's using it as a means of defense.
Can we see now that we're lower what happens when it strikes the caldera?
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys are a good 110 feet lower. Being this close, I would say you notice that actually with not only your proximity to the caldera, but watching the lightning strikes pass near the ship, there are dozens of aberration creatures inside these streaks of energy. And now that you're looking at the edge of the caldera is teeming with thousands of demonic fiends kind of swarming all over each other. And with each strike, hundreds more appear.
Wait, I'm going to look at that. Where did that kid say he was hiding?
In the shack?
In the
No.
caldera?
Yeah, that's where Qualish was, right?
That's where the kid in our, hold was saying he was hiding, guys. Because it's the only part of the island that's above the water.
Dyson, check the rat! Check the rat!
Dyson
there.
Dyson, check the rat!
The rat telekinetic synapse.
The kid is leaning up against the door with the rat in his lap. He's feeding it little bits of crumbs of bread, just kind of patiently waiting to be let out. He's already pissed in the bucket once.
Yes? Do you need anything? He's fine.
He's fine.
Where was he hiding? Yeah, well.
Should we ask him?
Where he was hiding?
Yes.
Say, dude, if there are hundreds of or thousands of demonic creatures out there that are coming from the lightning, where the heck did he hide?
Okay, I'm gonna go down to retrieve him.
Okay.
I moved the
door.
barricade.
He nearly he gets up. Oh, huh. Are we there yet? Did we leave? We're not actually going down there, are we?
No, we're not going to surface, but we're currently around 100 feet in the air right now.
Oh,
Can you come with me real quick? I'm gonna bring him outside to fire.
He hesitantly kind of follows you, and you bring him to the rail. Yeah, I what? What do you need me to do? I'm not. I don't do what you guys do.
Right. Where around the caldera were you hiding?
Oh, well, right over there. And he points There's a single lone peak at the end of the caldera, like its midway radius that's near where the village was. And you can see that it is devoid of anything on it. And there looks to be a couple ledges and a pathway that leads down the outside of the caldera into the water, or down the interior of the caldera and down into the bright hue of its inner workings.
Okay.
Are there any demons around that area?
Not that you could see.
Perfect. That's
They're
great.
teaming slightly to one side and the other side. So far, there's been no strikes there.
Okay,
But
so
we could theoretically land there, or at least have.
how?
From
Well-
this distance, it looks like a pretty tenuous spot. There's
But-
no real
okay.
flat surface to land
I
on.
mean, you don't have to land; you just tether it to it. I mean, really.
Or like
It's
just
a flying
send one
ship.
of us down there.
But my question is, the path that the island creature is taking around it, does it take it by that spike?
Mhm.
Close?
I would say it's currently about 80 feet off the coast of the island, or the caldera, because the caldera is like maybe 50 feet above the waterline,
Mhm.
where the mouth of the volcano disappears into the water. So it's almost like a cliff, a series of cliffs going all the way around. It's currently circling at about 80 feet around. You
80
can see
feet from
it
the.
from the center
Okay.
mass. You can
So
see the
if we're
tendrils
going
are still
to-
anchored in the direction of the submerged portion of the ship, and the pattern is just every time it's circling, every 2 minutes, the arcane strikes hit the lip, and then dozens and dozens of creatures begin to appear.
When it circles and it's got those tendrils, do the tendrils go around the caldera, or do they go through the caldera, or
They're not on the surface. It's hard to tell because every time you see it
Yeah.
surface, you can see the hundreds of tendrils leading down into the water.
right? Well, guys, if we are going
You
to
remember
take
that
ship
the
down
island
lower-
sunk, so the people, he's probably got tendrils all on those people down underneath the water.
Yeah, and if he pulls his tendrils out, those people will probably drown.
Oh,
Because
darn.
he's keeping them.
Oh shucks, the world or people?
Oh goodness.
Are we going to attack this thing or not?
Yes, but I'm recommending we do it over by that bear spot.
Dyson,
Oh,
how
okay.
many hold monsters does your homunculi have?
As many as I have. So like what? All in count.
Because I don't want to have to use my 6th and 7th level spell slots. I want to be able to use scatter.
That sounds like some magic user problems.
It is.
That's true.
Monster.
What was that?
What level is hold monster?
5th.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I got like 8, but I don't want to use like that high, so about like 5.
5 just on your homunculi, right?
Yeah.
Man,
5
wizards are something, huh? Okay, we're gonna have to start using your homunculi then to hold monster.
Ew.
Basically, we are trying to
Ooh.
time it so that we hold monster near the safe spot the child pointed out.
Fire, if you're getting closer, I feel like I should cast Stone Skin on you, so that way, if the tentacle does come out, doesn't it like puncture them? I forget what
It
happened.
looked like.
I thought it like chases you and then grabs
Look
you
it
and
up.
sucks you up.
I don't have notes,
I don't-
Tobias.
Oh.
I don't
That's
remember.
the problem. And Jason's gone.
It just said
Wait,
it.
isn't there a spell
I
invulnerability?
didn't.
I don't
Yeah, but-
think I have invulnerability.
That isn't that like 7th level?
It's a 9th level spell.
Yeah.
Invulnerability?
Yes.
Do you have it, Dyson? I forgot.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I
And
don't
no,
have
I'm
that.
not using it.
Now with invulnerability though, you can't. Wow, that train wrecked. Sorry. Can you still cast spells with invulnerability cast on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I was quite curious.
Jason, that was our question was when the tentacles went into the people, did it puncture them or did it like wrap around them? I
It
can't
was
remember
as
which it
if
was.
it was if they were like the end of the tentacle had spread into smaller filaments, and it was like attached to their like the either the front or back of their heads, and those filaments had kind of like gone into their like underneath their skin.
So I think I don't know. I feel like fire that it would not hurt to have you have stone skin if you're going to be near it. Just
Well, I
something to
don't
make
know
it
if
less
stone
likely.
skin would. I think it's more of a wisdom save. I don't think it's physical. I don't think it's a
Okay.
physical. I think it's more of a. You gotta make your
Tobias,
save.
give me sleight of hand as 2 more arcs of energy come striking towards the ship.
Can we buff her wisdom?
Ooh,
It's a 30.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Hopefully it's
Again,
wisdom.
You guys feel the ship dive to the left and back to the right as 2 more arcs of arcane lightning. Go
Knowing
right
my
by.
luck, it's intelligence
Okay.
or charisma.
So our plan is we are going to cast Hold Monster with Dyson's Homunculi when we're close as possible in its path to the safe spot on the peak. We want to basically just be away from the demons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Away
So-
from the bullets.
So once we're basically gonna hold on to that hold person until it gets close.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So someone
Okay.
explain to me what you guys are doing.
So we're gonna take the ship closer to that peak that's bare of demons.
Okay.
I do want to look at it through the. I know it's like shielding my eyes, but kind of peeking through those goggles to see if there's any. Yeah, they're probably useless. So never mind. I'm gonna. Yeah, we're taking the ship over there, and then we're going to hold monster with the homunculus.
Okay.
Try it again.
Tobias,
Yeah.
as you begin to steer the ship in that direction, go ahead and give me another sleight of hand. As more arcs of arcane lightning are beginning to strike towards the ship.
If I conjured an elemental, like an air elemental, to help push the ship
Give it
in directions,
25.
would that give him advantage?
Sure.
25. I don't need advantage. My
Okay,
minimum
fine.
roll is going to be a 21.
Okay.
Dang.
So, Tobias, guiding the ship in and out of the different strikes. Some of those strikes arcing down into the water. You watch as dozens of creatures begin to slowly sink into the water. The ship drifts in, out, and as you get closer to the peak, the outcropping, there you can see ledges kind of like protruding out. It maybe stands 80 feet in height above the crater line. It's a thin, kind of needle-like protrusion that seems to be devoid of creatures. There's a strange footpath that runs down into the water and a continuation of a footpath that runs down into the interior of the caldera. Holding the airship there to the right of the peak, maybe about 100 feet, some of the teeming masses of these fiends and demons and devils. To the left, the same. For some reason, this part of the peak just isn't got any of these creatures on it.
Why? Guys, why does this part have nothing, none of those? Can they not walk on it? Does it look like they're trying to go that way and they're being like buffeted back by something, or are they just avoiding it?
Hard to know for sure. I mean, looking at the thousands of them that just teem near the edge of the caldera, there's no rhyme or reason. They just seem to be avoiding it.
So
All right, well,
they're
let's take care of one
avoiding
thing
it,
at a
they're
time,
not
then
being
we'll
held
go back
by
there and
something.
drop in.
Right, but there's got to be a reason why.
It's good. It's a good thing. Because when
It
we
could
go
be a
down there to
trap.
get... What else is new? Everything we do is a trap. It's a trap that doesn't have thousands of demons crawling all over us, ripping our guts out.
Mhm.
That's a plus.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hurry up, take care of your pet, so we can get over to this thing.
Uh,
I can't
Sorry.
dodge these bolts of lightning forever.
Yeah, I think we just need to go.
Okay. Well.
Bye, Fire.
I-
Nice knowing you. I hope it works.
Well, I think I have to be something that flies in order to get over there.
Okay.
Or on Samara as she flies.
Either way.
Either way.
You guys tell me what you're doing. It seems like you have a plan, but maybe not.
No,
Fire,
we have a
you-
plan.
You choose. You choose. Do you want me to fly you, or
It's
do you
all
want to
right.
be something that flies?
I will fly. You can fly me because polymorph is probably a higher level, and we might need Tyson's spells.
Okay. Well, I can also polymorph you.
That's true. So if I start falling off of you,
Tobias,
polymorph.
give me another sleight of hand. as
Someone just
two
tell us
more
what we're
arcs of
doing.
lightning are coming at you.
Well, they need to hold monster.
I kamikaze the ship into this peak. I'm so frustrated, right? I can't take it.
Well, I mean, we just need Dyson to hold
We need to
monster
be
now, right?
closer. We're just waiting for hold monster.
Yeah.
Okay,
Give me a
well,
sleight of hand, Tobias.
Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
another sleight of hand.
Monster at 5th level.
What is another lightning bolt coming at me?
There's
Yes.
two more. So give me a sleight of hand as you dodge these, trying to dodge these two.
29.
29. You keep it, you move it to the left and right as the two strikes of lightning hit down near the base of the caldera where it strikes the water. There's now dozens of creatures teeming along the edge of the cliff face below where the spire of the peak is currently rising. The creature is swinging underneath the ship 80 feet off the shore as you guys are there. Asborn, are you casting?
Dyson's homunculi.
The homunculus is doing it.
All right. It'll burn its last legendary resistance to avoid it.
Do it again. Do it again.
Do it again, quickly, Dyson.
I'm doing it again, 5th level.
Yeah, that is a 6 plus 4, which is a dirty 10. You
Yeah.
feel the monster come under your control.
Okay,
And
Fire,
it
drop the
stops
bag.
swimming.
No, you can't drop the bag.
No, I'm saying hold, so that
Go.
I can try
Okay, I climb on Samara.
Okay,
Okay.
dragon.
As you turn into a dragon, you forget to leap off the ship first. So the entire airship dips underneath your weight.
Ah!
You
I'm hanging on the wheel. Hey!
You leap off the prow as
I'm
you
not
do
gonna
that.
flap my wings
need-
until we fall a little bit.
Yeah, I need
don't wanna
Mara,
buffer it.
Thyson, Asborn, and Tobias to give me deck saves. As the front of the ship dips 40 degrees and then back up 40 degrees as the huge dragon form leaps off the front of the ship.
Dirty
12.
20.
Okay?
31.
What is going on?
I also got a dirty 20.
Okay.
26.
Okay. Tobias?
I got a 31.
Yeah. You guys all managed to grab, hold on to rails, and just.
The
And then you
kid!
hear somebody screaming as the kid has gone over the rail.
He was in a. Oh, that's right.
He
No,
was
we brought him up.
downstairs.
No, we brought him up
We
to
brought him
ask
Brought
him.
him up, and you never
I,
did
Yeah.
anything with him.
I'm gonna jump off. I'm jumping
No,
off
I
after
thought we
him.
put him back in.
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm jumping off to get to him.
No,
And
it's
then
okay. He's gonna dimension door. He did it to me once.
I
Sheesh.
spilled some
He's
beer
gonna
for my
dimension
homie.
door.
Poor
All
little
right,
demon
well,
kid.
dimension fire.
Door. Are you dimensioning door towards her? Or towards
No,
him?
I'm jumping towards him, and then I'm gonna dimension door once I grab him.
Well, didn't he make his deck
Give
save?
me,
No, apparently
no, I
it's-
rolled a
it's an
4 for the
NPC.
kid's deck save. He's just a normal kid.
It's just a kid.
Just a kid, dude.
Ah, he's he's plummeting down towards the water.
Maybe it's for the
You get
best.
one
This whole
chance-
village is going to get destroyed right now.
I mean, you get one chance at this Asmore. He's going to hit that water at like 80 miles per hour. Not terminal velocity quite, but go ahead and give me a dex check to see if you can grab onto him.
Samara, you caused a death. It's going to be horrible for you to live with that.
18.
You actually have
18?
a soul.
I put the DC at a 16. So you grab on the scruff.
Oh.
You grab on the scruff of his neck, and then you feel the dimension door open right underneath both your feet, and you're back on the deck of the ship. He immediately hollers and goes running over to the gangway back down below the deck and just screaming at the top of his lungs.
Throws the rat in his general direction. Go rat.
All right, so now
I'm yelling at Samara right now. I'm just pointing at her, doing a thumbs down.
the one thing that could have saved us later on in the episode will be a dimension door. We won't have it.
Me off. Just down.
I'm just yelling at
Lord.
this dragon right now.
Right.
Her
I'm
dragon
flying
ass
down.
caused
Now you're coasting
ship
down
to
towards the
crash.
creature that is currently under Thyson's control.
Yeah.
Thyson's focused on it. As you crest the edge and you're getting closer to the creature, Tobias, give me a sleight of hand as you
Okay.
shift the ship out of the way of the lightning strikes.
Nat 20, so a 31.
Samara, give me a dex save as 2 lightning strikes are coming at you.
That's not terrible. Dex. Oh, that is terrible. That's a 12.
So, as the arcane lightning strike hits you, Fire, where are you at this point? You're on her
I'm
back.
holding
right?
onto her.
Okay, so you're holding. She's in your talons.
Yeah.
So the arcane strike hits your back. Give me a
Ow.
con save.
Yeah, I needed to be underneath her, so she's holding on to me.
Fair.
Con is 16.
Okay. Take 82 points of lightning damage.
How many points of health do I have? Hold on.
You feel
82.
the
Okay.
energy just kind of crackle across you, and then you feel weighted. You feel heavy. As
Oh,
a
no.
dozen demonic creatures are now clinging onto your back and digging their talons into your back, biting into your back. Give me a
That's fun.
concentration save to keep from letting Fire go.
How far away from the ship is she at this point?
She's about 50 to 60 feet down below, getting closer to the creature.
I'm sorry, Fire. I'll catch you. It was a 2.
Yeah, you immediately surprised by this. The talon, your talons open. Fire, you're free falling the remainder of the 30 feet towards the water. You feel yourself belly flop into the water.
Ow.
Give me a dex save to see how much damage you can avoid.
I couldn't have caught her in that time.
Oh God, no! This is all happening so fast.
Yeah, we weren't that far away from the ground.
No.
Can we see?
You said a
these
dex
little-
Yep, dex save.
Technically, since I'm level 19, can't I cast spells even while I'm shaped into other things? Isn't that a thing at level 19?
You tell me. It's your character.
I'm pretty sure that was a
I
thing.
would not know that one.
Okay.
I think that's a thing.
No idea.
Yes, it is a thing because
Okay.
level
I don't know,
20 is
what
when I
can
can
your
change as many
character
times
do?
as I want.
I would
So-
say if you had another 10 feet of, if you weren't as close as you were, I would have given you more time, but
No,
you
but
just
what
don't
I'm-
have a time.
What I'm saying is I would do the water
Oh.
catch that I've done before, control
Because I
water
gotta
so
get
that
out
she
of bed.
doesn't like slam into it.
I'll give you advantage. That's as a reaction. You can pull that off. Make sure you burn the effect.
Yeah.
Or burn the spell. Fire. You watch as the water below you begins to kind of burble up into this giant bubbly hand, like it's trying to soften your landing. So you can give me dex
Mhm.
save with advantage. It's a good take. I like
Okay.
that.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh, good,
You
all right.
smack into the water, but the hand kind of slows you down a bit and lays you into the water just as the creature is about to emerge.
is it?
As it's about to come across, you can feel your feet touch the strange spongy
Summon!
surface. And then, so You take half of 26 points of falling damage, so you take 13 points of falling damage.
Okay.
I would love if I could
Samara,
find my spell.
Samara, you take another 38 points of piercing damage as you have a dozen creatures on your back kind of slashing into you at this point.
Can I
Anything you want to
barrel
try
roll
to
to get them
do?
off me?
Yeah, can I was asking, can we see these creatures on her?
Yeah, because now she's swooped up and away after fires landed in the water. As Samara swoops up and away, you can see about a dozen of these fiendish-looking creatures clawing her back. She's about 80 feet off to your starboard as she's barrel rolling, trying to get them to fall off.
I mean, I can pull out my.
Mars like standing there with her weapons. I sure wish you were right here.
I pull out my crossbow, I guess.
Please don't shoot me.
I'd help,
Can I
but
take a couple of crossbow shots at them?
Go for it. I mean,
All
however
right,
number
I'm
of
gonna-
attacks you have, go for it.
doink,
Yep.
Take
doink.
a shot.
All right.
Pew, pew.
That's a 30 for the first one.
Yeah, one hits. Keep going.
All right. Let's just roll both in. That's a 29 for the second.
Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
All right. That's 18 damage total.
For both shots.
Yeah.
You watch two arrows, two bolts, stick one of the creatures in the back of the neck, and it scrambles and lets go and plummets down towards the water. And
Helped.
Thank
anybody
you.
else? Right now, she's barrel rolling up to the starboard section of the ship. So, Asbor and Thyson and Tobias, you can see what's happening to her. There's about 11 of them left, holding on to her form. You guys want to try to do anything before they take another round of damage on her?
I can also just change into something else.
I gotta kind of control the ship with these lightning strikes. So
Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
do
give me
anything.
another
Tobias.
sleight of hand, Tobias, as you're dealing with that. Asbor and Thyson. Thyson, you're concentrated on holding the
20.
monster.
22.
Okay. So, 21's the DC. So, as long as you don't roll a natural 1, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
At this point, Tobias is dodging the strikes. Tyson's controlling the monster, and fire's now in the water. Samara's off to the starboard, barrel rolling, trying to get rid of these things. Mara just took 2 shots. Asborn, is there anything you want to try to do?
Wait, so who has the demons on them?
Samara.
Samara.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's in her dragon form.
Samara. How close is she to the ship right now?
80 feet.
80 feet? I don't. My haste doesn't reach that far, nor does my fear.
I mean, I'm going to try and swing back down to get fire, and I'm just going to change
Fear.
into something else.
Okay.
Demons aren't going to be
You get
fearful.
you got it. I'll give a thumbs up
After the thumbs down.
after the thumbs up. Good job. But since you're probably about to enter combat, I'm gonna cast haste on myself.
Okay. Put haste on yourself. Samara, as you barrel roll and begin to crest down towards where you can see fire, 2 more of them fall off you. There's now 9 left on you.
Okay.
Take another 31 points of slashing damage from the creatures raking into you with their claws.
Okie dokie.
And as you crest, you're getting lower to where fire is. You can see fire in the water holding the bag, and you can hear her voice echo out, "Summon." Thyson,
Oh.
you feel the
I was going to say, could I have frightful presence? Because it says any creature of the dragon's choice that is within 120 feet of me has to have a wisdom saving throw.
you get the feeling these things are immune to fear.
Okay.
Because she's demons.
As you barrel roll going towards where you can see fire, fire holds up the bag, yells summon. Thyson, you feel the concentration of things dissipate and go away. You guys watch. Oh my god, what is she doing?
Sorry.
She's destroying something.
No, I think she just put Sebastian in a
cabinet?
drawer.
Just put it in
Yes,
a
I put
file cabinet under
Yes.
S
Under S for shithead.
for Sebastian.
for Bitey McBiterson.
Yeah,
From
he's got his
Shitsville.
2 upper teeth in now, and he's got the runny nose from the teething. So he's got his first official runny nose, and it's
Fun.
driving poor Callista crazy because She's like, he probably has pneumonia
I'm like,
or something.
does he have a cold? Does he have a cold? Does he have COVID? Is he sick? Is he gonna die? Is he sick? Is he gonna die? Does he have COVID?
Stop.
Does he have the flu?
Don't say
Sorry.
And then he bites
Don't
you.
say that.
And then
And then he bites me.
chomps on the nipple.
He bites
His
down with
little
the little
beaver
tiles he's got
teeth.
in there.
So,
Oh my
Fire,
God, they look like chiclets.
you're
Yeah.
now treading water as the surface below your feet goes away. There's a slight weight in the small bag, and as you look in it, there's a very small, kind of like yellow, green, and pink jellyfish creature that reminds you of what it looked like when you saw it in the Fae. And as the bag in your hand closes, you watch as it folds in. There's an arc of light, and it's gone. You then feel yourself get grabbed by a dragon as Samara grabs you out of the water and is now flying up in the air. There's a demon crawling down the leg of her, the leg
Pew,
of her talon, and it's trying to make a strike at you. What do you want to do?
Can I shoot it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Give me a strength save to make sure you can hold on while shooting.
Seemed suspiciously easy.
I mean, it's a spell.
No, that was just, oh, let's get this over with so we can kill them all.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was a warm-up.
spire. Yeah.
17.
17. You manage to cling on to like her talon, and you take your shots.
Guiding bolt.
Okay, go for it.
I know it's not going to.
It's radiant though. It's vulnerable to radiant. So.
Ooh, hey, they're vulnerable to radiant. That's awesome.
They're demons.
Well,
Well-
not exactly, but close enough.
They've
Are
not
we-
been.
Are we closer to
25?
the ship? How far away are we from the ship now?
Well, I'll get you there in a second. We're letting fire
Okay.
resolve.
25.
25. Your first guiding bolt strikes the creature in the chest. Go ahead and roll for damage. And what's your roll before your modifier?
12.
So 24 plus your modifier.
Guiding bolt doesn't have a modifier.
Don't you have a spell attack modifier that's part of it?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just no. Guiding bolt is just.
Oh, that's right, because
4d6.
the cantrip, right?
No, it's
No?
it's a first level spell.
Oh, okay. So you watch as it just smokes a hole in the chest of the creature. The creature can't cling on, and it goes falling past you towards the ground. Samara is barrel rolling while holding on to you, and she drifts within about 30 feet of the ship at this
Okay.
point.
30 feet. Could I, theoretically, if I drop my polymorph, they'll lose their grip.
Mhm.
I grab onto Fire and Misty step onto the ship with her.
Okay. So with that, you guys
Dang.
watch as Samara's form collapses into her orc form. She's got her hands wrapped around Fire's waist as the two of you begin to plummet and the remaining 8 demons plummet around you. You watch as fleshy wings come out, but not fast enough as they fall past you. And then you guys watch as Samara Misty steps over onto the deck of the ship. And you guys are back together again on the ship.
We
Let's
got a
go.
I might
monster.
puke. I might
The
puke.
We
very
got a
first
monster.
thing you notice is the rifts are no longer arcing. There's a steady, permanent stream of energy at the last minute that strikes into the edge of Caldera from all 15 of the rifts, and then the rifts close. You watch as thousands of these creatures begin to float up into the air, and they're now dispersing in a 360-degree pattern. It takes about 5 minutes. And you notice that kind of mingled in
That's
amongst
probably
them,
bad.
you see a Balrog kind of flying off with the group. You watch as a huge demon 100 feet long kind of flies off as well, as thousands and thousands of these creatures evacuate the crater's edge. You watch as the caldera goes dormant, no longer alight with any kind of flame or lava, just a steadiness of stream kind of echoing up from it.
Are they headed towards us?
No, they're just
They all just.
arcing out in a 360 direction out towards the Morrow, towards the Menagerie Coast, towards Marquette, towards the
Everyone.
islands, towards everywhere. Just thousands and thousands of them. heading off in different directions.
All right.
We do a bad thing.
Could
We
well
did a
could
bad
the
thing.
creature have been like holding them here?
It appears that way.
I would say the one thing you guys remember from the first encounter with what Shulamon was trying to do, he was using the magic of the creature to try to get rid of Tierling's form, her physical form, or at least he claimed he was. When in reality, it channeled an opening that allowed something in. You always assumed it was Zarel, but perhaps that's when the Chained Oblivion found access. Perhaps that's when the opportunity for it to try to emerge into this place might have occurred. What this creature was doing the same thing under the guise of Qualish's interaction. It was using its arcane magics with its connection with the Fae to channel the rifts and bring more of these creatures. But as soon as it was captured and taken care of, there was no reason for these creatures to wait, as they thought that was their signal to do what they're supposed to do next. And as you guys are on the deck of the ship, watching the caldera cool down, there's just massive swarms off in the distance, getting further and further away.
At least more aren't coming now.
Can we?
All right, let's go down there and take care of business.
Does the island come back up out of the water?
Nope. Just suddenly just goes dormant.
Mara, are you able to call Alvin? We gotta warn somebody.
Of steam coming out of it.
All those people
and you guys,
that
I would say you're
were
near
tentacled,
where that spire was. Near where that spire was. You're now completely engulfed in steam at this point. That's emanating out of the caldera.
Time to skedaddle?
No, because
isn't Qualish in there? Or no?
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
Based on your scry, that's where you believe him to be.
We need to go down there, but we just unleashed hell on everybody.
Yeah. So, do we want to go down there underwater?
Look, we got to get down there and kill Qualish, and then those demons will leave. We got to get going.
We were
That's how that works.
rescuing Qualish.
What do you want to sit here and feel sorry for yourselves that you just killed half the people over there?
I mean,
or you want to go kill Qualish?
Do we see any bodies like surfacing and floating?
Thank God you saved the kid.
All of
I
his
imagine
family
Fire
is dead.
just gets over to where Tobias is and pushes him off the rail.
Here we go again. I jump off.
Wait. If they're standing next to each other and I push the evil one off and the other Tobias just kind of flops over on deck,
follow him
does the
identically.
other...
They follow each other wherever they go.
I know, but if say the railing's going this way and they're standing this way,
all right,
and
I shoot her in the head. I know what she's thinking. I can see it. I shoot her in the head.
No. I wanted to see. Does the other one float?
Oh, yeah. Well,
That
you'll find out later.
How that works.
You'll find out what both of us can do later, baby.
Oh.
When we're fighting Qualish.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Where's his jacket? Where's his smoking jacket?
All right, Tobias, steer us down, and I mean, because that's the thing, Mara, you could technically warn Alvin. I could warn Atil, not Atil.
Oh,
yeah.
Atil,
you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can warn Zarel, and we can warn Despader. Hey, maybe we just tell Despader.
No.
Bring his demons back.
I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to.
What is my girlfriend's name? I always forget.
Atil.
It's Atil.
Okay, so then
you were correct.
So we could warn them and be like,
"Damn,
hey,
baby, that's cold."
we made an oopsie. We unleashed.
I don't remember what that broad's name is.
I mean, we made out and had a great time that night. But
yeah, that was great, but pretty forgettable.
Anyway,
this is what happens when you don't write your own NPCs.
I know. This is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm saying that we could warn them and be like, hey, by the way, there's demons coming your way.
There's
Gotta
thousands
go.
of demons headed your way.
Sure. Yeah.
That sounds like a good conversation.
So what are you guys doing?
Okay, we're gonna go
we're gonna
fly down to
While
where
we're
the,
flying down.
the entrance is and get off and go take care of business.
While they do
Currently,
that,
not
I'll
better
find
than
a
no warning
quiet
at all.
spot and
So Mara and
What is
Samara,
that?
you're reaching out to people you know. Both of you feel like there's no reception, like no one is receiving the message. You
Can I
sense
try
that
my
they're still on the
brooch?
plane of existence, but no one's responding.
can I try the brooch?
You know, they might be dealing with flying monsters right now.
The hologram one?
Yeah, but the flying
yeah,
monsters
that's
couldn't get there
right.
that fast.
I
would
forgot about that one.
I would say with the brooch, you see an image of Albin chained to a pillar.
God damn it.
What about the two little scrappy youngsters? Where they're at?
Wave.
They in a pie?
And the image is immediately you see a hand reach up to his neck, and then the image goes away.
Oh, yeah.
Do we
Everyone's
recognize the
dying.
hand?
Just a kind of fiendish looking claw.
Oh.
Neat.
Oh, yeah, that's probably shit.
He's doing a meet cute with a demon.
We may have
Bad things are
started the
happening.
plans.
Yep. Bad
Yeah.
things. Cool. Let's finish this
Crap.
quickly.
What else is new? We've started this whole thing.
I don't
Remember?
Want, I don't want a single mom twin monster babies. Can we?
Don't worry. He won't be one. We got to get going.
All right.
If we don't do this, everybody's dead.
Fair enough.
So, as you guys are in amongst the steam that's pouring out of the caldera, just as you're crossing its threshold to get like into where you think you could dip down into the interior, there's a flash of movement out of the right corner of your eye, and you feel the ship shift under weight as a familiar dragonborn lands on the ship.
Is it Fortuna?
It's Fortuna.
Yeah, Fortuna.
She is significantly injured and immediately collapses onto the deck of the ship.
Ooh. Heal. You
tell me.
Yeah. Heal my girlfriend.
Does she need a potion?
She looks rough. She immediately is relieved that she made it, but she falls unconscious almost immediately.
Okay.
We need your
Channel
help.
divinity. I'm gonna give her back 95 points.
Okay.
Damn.
Lovely.
So you
She
do it.
watches
that
her
for
wounds
us?
begin to close. Her eyes fly open, and in her dragonborn form, she gets to her knees looking around like in sudden shock. They have them all. The Order of the Aspect was a trap. Samara, they have your mother. Fire, they have your sister. Mara, they have Albin. Tobias, they have your parents.
Damn.
Who's they?
Don't know.
The Qualishes.
No, he wasn't there. It's too hard to explain, but it's almost if they knew exactly what we were doing. But we did see Shulaman. He was there.
Where were you at?
We were north of Rexingtrim. We had found the warehouse where we think that they were holed up after you guys dealt with them in Trustenwald. We were moving in, all of us together. But flash of light, creatures came out of the darkness. Shulaman was there controlling things, doing things. Nothing like I've ever seen before.
When's the last time you saw Qualish?
I don't know if I know who that is.
He's the puppet master.
I've never seen this Qualish.
Well, we think he's down below and we think he's controlling everything. So
She
Yeah, we're gonna
stands
need
at the
your help.
edge of the rail, looking around as the steam is kind of coalescing around the ship. as you guys are now over the edge of the crater. Are you descending?
Yeah.
I
We
would
think he's
so,
down there.
yeah.
We got to go take care of him.
Feel the ship descend. You watch as the lip of the caldera passes by. And now you're the interior of the bowl, descending, more, deeper, down. And now you begin to feel arcs, just these little mini tendrils of light arcing from below, up and out. You watch as strange kind of visages of creatures float by. As you drive yourself deeper and deeper, first 5 minutes goes by, then 10 minutes goes by, then 15 minutes goes by. You feel the pressure in your heads begin to kind of almost cause your ears to pop. Pop, pop. You feel the pressure kind of weigh in around you. Until finally, as you come out of the steam and smoke, you look around, and it is an unending vista of shattered, broken land in all direction. In every direction you look. Way off in the distance, where a great jagged mountainscape exists. And you could see the skyline of a massive city lying atop a protrusion of the fractured mountain, and arcs of light coming out of it, way off in the horizon, off in the distance, cracking down. You watch as strange creatures down below are moving about. Strange aberrations, not like anything you've ever seen. Some
Now-
have 12 limbs with heads coming off the back and kind of wanting to like growl and roar in pain and discomfort, but no sound coming up as these swarms of creatures move about below you.
And this is inside the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through a portal, or a portal is opened, or, I mean, because this doesn't seem physically possible.
And the horizon just goes on and on in all directions. And you could see
And
shattered mountainscapes surrounding in all directions. Great city skylines, blasted, tilting mountains and cliff faces. And then there's only one point of light within that one city. You can see way off in the distance where the light is kind of arcing out.
We're going to go that way
Yeah.
with all possible speed.
You hear a screech. There's a huge creature off to the right is now kind of following alongside the airship. It's two draconic heads staring at you. Its four wings kind of tucked into its chest as it dives down and away. More creatures swarming on top of each other below. Some almost phantom-like. Some disembodied. Some you watch as the march of 1,000 undead begin to shift around and move directly below you.
guys, we
And
have to
then-
close this portal.
For the first time, you could see small towns, small villages down below as well. As you're passing over just this unending landscape of community after community being overwhelmed by these creatures, these forms.
Oh, we're in the future again.
As you drift closer and closer to where you're going. Anybody proficient in Arcana by chance? I believe Thyson is.
Thyson.
Oh, the
That
one
sounds
thing
like
I'm
a
good
Tyson
at,
thing.
really?
Oh my
give me
god,
an
the mage.
Yeah, I know, right? Give me an Arcana
Oh.
check, Tyson.
25.
25. You are in the Shadowfell. You recognize its landscape. You recognize the aberrations. It would seem that Qualish not only used the magic of the creature to bring those demons and aberrations into existence from either other multiverses or other planes of existence, but he has opened up a gateway into the Shadowfell, and he appears to be remaking the Shadowfell into something else.
Oh, wait, so would that stone that we got from the queen close this?
Dyson's the expert on
Dyson.
that.
Yeah, I was like, that's, I don't know.
Even I said I don't know.
Dice is all. I didn't take notes.
Perhaps I think our main problem right now is that the fact that he's got so much power and has been gaining it for a while. We kind of got to kill him now, so he has to take like 40 bajillion years to get it all back, and then close it up.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, is he here? We saw the dragon fly off, so Qualish
we're
was
seeing all
probably
these-
on that.
But we're seeing all these lights coming out at one point in the city. I feel like that's probably him.
Well, let's go check. I don't know.
Is there a super
Shall we try
powerful paladin
spying?
here fighting it back
No.
from
Yeah.
that I can bring back to life and be like, hey, I can help you.
Tobias, you watch as your duplicate fades.
Uh-oh.
Aw.
And the shadow fell.
Damn it.
You're no
We,
longer on the material plane, so the pact gets disassociated from you.
All right. Good. He was probably a pain in the ass anyway.
You get the feeling that also might be a signal that was just sent.
The lights, you mean? Or the fact that his thing dissipated?
You get the feeling that that's exactly what Zarel was expecting once you crossed over.
Ah.
You get the feeling she knows now what's going on.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Let's talk to Zarel and find out what's going on. I'm just kidding.
Hello,
And the
Zarel.
shadow fell. The airship drifts deeper and deeper into the horizon, the city getting closer and closer. It's when you begin to notice little pockets of arcane light popping into existence as creatures known as the Legion begin to pour into the space. All of you in the booming echoes of your mind, you have but one chance. As you hear Zarel's voice, Legion pours into the Shadowfell, fighting back the creatures that Qualish is summoning towards him.
Oh,
This
sweet.
gives you the ebb and flow of advantage as you begin to drift closer and closer to the blasted cityscape in front of you, but it gets larger and larger and larger as you get closer. And somewhere in the center of that cityscape, you can see a great tower off in the distance.
Does it
And then
look
the
like
light
a...
striking the top of that tower and then returning off of it.
We're zooming. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Where's the Raven Queen? We need her. Or her champion.
Yeah, we totally
Dun,
need the Raven Queen's
dun,
champion.
Why? Who's the Ravens Queen champion? I don't recall.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
In an
I read it in a
alternate
book
world.
somewhere. I read it in a book somewhere. It's his name. His name is... It was like Gulshaw?
I think it was like Rulba.
No, it was Gulshaw.
Gulshaw's down there battling it out with him.
Yeah.
I got demon
Finally
helpers now.
traverse the edge of the cityscape, and down below, the city's just teeming with strange creatures, either of their own accord, moving away from the center of the city, or engaged with creatures that are malformed. And there is almost kind of like a chaotic scene down in the streets as the airship begins to careen and cruise closer and closer. It's at that moment you feel the airship begin to purposely kind of slow down and settle as it crosses the anti-magic field that's around this part of the city.
But at
You
least
feel
it
the
didn't
ship
fall.
just kind of settle on its side in like a kind of like ruined section of the city.
Now we need
It's
a
all hold on to the
miniaturization
rails
button.
and all the broomstone and lit effects of the spell effects of the broomstone fade.
Do our familiars fade?
No, they do not.
That's our
Okay.
own magic.
Do our items fade?
Your
I
items
mean-
are still there, but you feel
Are they magic?
unattuned. You feel unattuned to them.
But they're still magic.
No. Unattuned means you don't sense any magic coming from anything that you're physically using, whether it's weapon, jewelry, or armor.
All right.
So they're not magic.
Correct.
Great.
My sword doesn't talk to me anymore.
I start pushing the
that
ship
means
toward
we
the
can-
entrance again. Let's go.
Bad.
We're out of
It's
here.
just at an angle on the ground, not even moving.
All right. So let's figure out the borders of this anti-magic zone. How close are we to where we were trying to go?
You're probably a couple miles away.
Miles.
How long did it take for us to travel that far?
Since you were on the airship, not very long. Give me a survival check, Samara, as you try to remember at the height before the ship had to force land itself into the ruined edges of this part of the city that you're in.
Okay. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't roll this way.
2.
Guess again.
A 1.
But it's technically an 8.
I mean, hard to know for sure. I mean, by foot, depending on the condition of these unfamiliar streets, it could take a couple hours to get there. But being down in this ruined section of the city, looking up, that tower's maybe half a mile up in the sky too. Like it literally is this monstrosity just forming up and up into the sky.
That's lovely.
Because if it's going to take forever, I could technically cast
Windwalk.
control weather would it just takes time, but it could at least push us with some wind to where we need to go.
With Thyson's check on the Shadowfell,
He'd be like, no, that won't work.
magic in the Shadowfell is a little wonky. Things
Of
don't
course.
quite work as they do in the material plane. You would know that much.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So
keep
our
on
magic.
keeping on, I guess.
Yeah. Do we want to be clouds?
Fart gas into it? Can we even?
But what about our ship?
I'm.
We gotta leave it. It's out of
Oh.
gas.
Can I
Nice.
can I try to manifest my echo right now? See what happens.
Your echo comes into existence.
Okay.
It's
Might as well
personal-
keep it out then.
personals only. We got no outside influence. It's us and the lamb.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we don't have magic, then he won't have magic. Ha ha.
That is
No,
not
that's
how
not
that
true.
works.
We have magic. We have magic.
Yes, we
It
have our
doesn't
own
work.
personal magic.
It's our stuff.
All right,
not
but-
working.
Our stuff magic. Yes.
All right. We
Everybody
zoom
give
in
me
with
perception checks as you begin to look around you.
Ooh.
Ooh, I got a natty 20.
2.5. I love how after 2.5 years of playing, you still forget to ask me, hey, so what do we see?
I was
Perception,
just
right?
about to do that.
Yeah,
I-
we were definitely gonna do that. Yeah.
I was
What do you
just
get?
about to do that.
Okay.
24.
Okay.
15.
Okay. What'd
30.
you get, Fire? 30? I think Tobias walked away. Thyson, what'd you
I
get?
got it. I got a natty 20.
11.
11. Natty 20 counters Thyson's shitty roll. So as a group,
Motherfucker.
you notice that the streets around you and the buildings around you have suffered significant damage. Whatever fight took place here, the remnants of it lies all around you. The aberration and fiends of those things created by Qualish are here, but they've been sundered. They've been ripped apart by something else. You can hear the sounds of the fighting raging on in the streets to your right and left. But there are two routes that look at least reasonably clear at this point. All around you, you can hear the arc of arcane energy and light off in the distance, still striking from out of the tower up ahead. What would you guys like to do?
Which
Wonder if
way
my blood
seems
magic
less
will work.
dying?
There are
You
two
said there were two?
streets. There are two routes. One seems to go slightly off to the right and disappears in amongst some more ruined structures. Another one seems to go more center and up towards the middle of the city.
Well, I think
Here
it's
the
clear
building
we need
damage
to
is a
split the
little bit
party.
less.
No, splitting the party is a terrible idea.
Take the center road.
Does the center road look like it goes more towards where sounds like there's fighting?
With your passive
Of 20?
No. Yeah, I mean it sounds like the fighting's going on all around and echoing out of the different streets in many different varieties. These two routes just look to have the least amount of activity, and your passive would be high enough that it doesn't sound like much is going on in those directions.
Okay, one vote for center. Shall we take the center?
Sounds great.
Is that
As good
the
as
most
any other
direct
plan.
route? The most direct route to that spire that we were heading towards? Or Basilica or whatever it's called? Well, no, I was asking you if it seemed like the most direct
It
route.
seems like it is. I mean, from your position, from what you can see, what you can hear, it seems like the route to go.
Who's listening to...
Sorry.
Okay.
Someone sent me a
Loves,
gift.
he loves listening to shit on his phone and interrupting all my thoughts with it.
All right, so center road.
So as
Are
you
there
guys
any
begin to-
stores around that we could buy magic items from the Shadowfell? I'm just kidding. My magic goggles
Shopping
don't
trip
work.
now.
Is there some charging stations for our magic items?
Yeah, is there some charging stations for our magic items? Yeah.
Written in Shadowfell language, there's a little area that says Tesla on it.
Okay. Let's head that way. Cautiously and quietly.
Everybody give me stealth checks.
Oh, jeez.
If I cast Pass Without a Trace and we're in the air, does it do anything?
We're not in the
Gives
air.
you plus 10 on your stealth checks.
Okay, then I will cast that because I
Okay.
always need plus 10.
Okay. Are you guys currently clouds or your normal self?
Are we? Did you do? Sam, did you do clouds?
No, no one told me to do clouds.
I got an 11.
I thought we were taking the
with
ship
your
with
plus
us.
10?
Oh,
The
with
ship
we're
is
not
no
taking the
longer
ship.
21
working.
with plus 10, yeah.
Well, I'm
The ship
already
can't
working
move.
with plus 10.
Everyone's
So.
talking at once.
I know. The ship
The ship
crashed
can't
into
move.
the ground. It's settled. The broomstone is inert.
That's what it was.
Seems
Okay,
that
sorry.
physical magic isn't working.
I
And
don't
all
know
of
that
our
I know
magic
that.
items are no longer
appears
magic.
to be working. So I'm not really sure why you guys are hoofing it, but your choice.
Okay, wait, then yes.
Fine,
That-
let's do clouds.
Part time.
Wait a
This
minute.
is going to be a real fun 25 episode
So-
finale.
Track.
So we have to recalculate our armor class then.
Oh crap!
Why?
Wait, why do we have to
Possibly.
change armor class?
Do you
No,
have
wait,
magic
let's see
armor
if we go-
that doesn't
let's
work
see if we
anymore?
Wait,
No, I
But I-
don't.
No, I don't. I'm base.
I farted you all.
I'm attuned to it, but
We're
Who
clouds.
farted
Let's
us?
go.
Go.
It's
that.
masterwork, Asmore.
yeah, mine's just masterwork.
You all become.
No, is my
Clouds.
mall not working? No.
Okay. Moving on.
You guys
Clouds.
begin to drift
We're now
towards the
300
massive
feet.
tower. At this
300
point.
feet.
Yep. And you're drifting very quickly towards it, to the point you get right to the base of it. You begin to drift upwards. As you look up, you can see a great blue maelstrom of light that the arcs seem to be going down into. As you come up and over near the edge of the lip of the tower, it's a perfect 120-foot diameter on top of the tower. You can see 7 individuals strapped to 7 metal columns. There are seals on the top of each column. In the center, in a cage, you can see Qualish. His emaciated, nearly starved to death form, and there are thin chains running from the cage to each one of the columns. Samara, your mother is on one column, Atil is on another column. Mara, you can see Albin attached to one column. Fire, you can see your sister attached to another column. Tobias, you can see your parents attached to two columns. And then Asborn, you can see your Mima attached to the seventh column.
Oh, damn, it's not Asmon. If it was Asmon, we could have left him.
No.
Above,
Damn,
on top of each
relationships with
column
people. Idiots.
are 7 skulls attached to each column, and they are floating in kind of a phantom form. These 7 seals are rotating and feeding off the power that's being drawn from Qualish.
Guys, they're trying to bring back Lathander.
Is it 7 skulls on each column
One
or
on
one
each.
skull per? Okay,
One
one
per
skull.
Are they trying to bring back Lathander?
How many kids were there again?
It ain't
9.
no Thander.
9?
There were 9.
There were 9. Yeah, this is 7.
My cat and Christ, I don't think it matters what they're bringing back. I don't think it's good either way.
Fire,
I know,
give
but-
me a religion check, since you are our resident cleric.
Could be Lethander, could be just Speckledorf, the evil demon of the 9 millionth hell circle. you know?
25.
25. You recognize this as a ceremonial summoning kind of like very similar to like summoning circle. However, you recognize that each of the seals on top of each of the iron columns, each seal is a representation of a seal of the oblivion, of the chained oblivion,
Chained Oblivion.
and the different effects.
So we're trying to bring back
notice-
the Chained Oblivion.
Pull it up.
Sweet.
The first one you seal is a purple skull that's twisting on the
Oh,
column.
purple.
And you recognize it as Pride. And
We should
that
write
is
this
the
down.
one that is currently on top of Samara's mother. The second one
Hold
is
on,
on
go
top
slower.
of
My mother, purple skull, Pride.
the second column, a yellow skull. Greed.
Who's on that one?
That is Fire's sister. The third skull, you recognize as the seal of lust. On that one is a teal.
Color?
Nice one. I high five Sam's with my fart hand.
What color is that?
Red.
Okay.
The fourth skull is green, and it signifies the seal of envy. On that one, you can see Asborn's grandmother.
Mima, no.
The fifth one is orange. The skull is rotating above that one. That one is above Albin. You recognize that seal as the seal of gluttony or excess.
Gluttony?
Gluttony or excess.
Okay.
The sixth seal, you see Tobias's mother. And that is a kind of like a pinkish or almost kind of like translucent pink. And you notice that that seal is the seal of wrath. The final seal, the seventh seal, where Tobias's father is chained to an iron column, which for them it's kind of really weird. It's like watching normal people get, and then these two little tiny mouse folk.
We can't go
Still
on.
laughing it up, huh? Okay.
I'm just picturing like a camera panning around until it gets
Yeah.
to them and then has to go down.
And then the seventh one is blue.
I hate you all.
With his father.
I'm glad
chained
this is
to
the
it.
last game.
And it's not tonight. It's not. It's the seal of sloth. Each one
Okay.
of these iron columns have a thin, kind of like yellowish gold chain running to Qualish's form in the very middle, who's trapped in a cage, and he looks barely alive, emaciated, like he's being drawn from it, and it's feeding these columns. And then the vortex is just getting stronger and flowing around. Almost as if, and then little arcs.
Is there anyone else here?
Not that you could see.
Okay. I'm writing notes, guys. So hold on. I mean, you don't have to hold on, but you guys carry on. I have to write this.
The thing that's connecting them, does it appear to be living? Like
Give me investigation as you kind of stare at it and float around, trying to get a better.
I'm thinking of what was holding Zarel, the what were they called? I'm sorry, my brain is fried.
The illithids.
Mind flayers or illithids?
Is it like similar to that? Is what I'm thinking.
Give me investigation.
25.
No, these seem metallic, and they're arcing with little tendrils of energy going to and back and forth. And every time the arc goes between the 2 points, those strapped to the column kind of scream out in silent pain. And then you watch as bits of arcane energy goes up into the vortex. Okay. And the vortex gets a little bit more kind of solidified, a little bit faster.
Okay. So we can't see anyone else, right?
Currently, no. Not that you can see. Everything I described is what you guys see.
Is
currently what you see.
Qualish is in a cage, right? Is
Correct.
It locked on the outside?
There are no doors. There are no handles. There are no obvious ways in and out of it.
And the chains.
Someone else has to be here then.
The people that are chained up, have they acknowledged us?
I thought we were fight clouds.
We're clouds.
Do they, but do they look? Do they look like passed out, or do they look like?
They look like they're kind of in a bit of a trance, like they're being forced to kind of look up with their mouths open up into the vortex.
What about Qualish?
Qualish looks like he's barely conscious, just slumped over his own knees in the middle of that cage. Tyson, give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
I got 25.
25. You've seen this type of cage before. It's part of a spell. Pretty much anything in it cannot escape it.
How do you break the spell?
Probably from Thyson's knowledge, the only way to break it would be to try to dispel it, but it's powerful magic. Difficult magic.
So I'm going to shoot my mom and dad.
You're just going to shoot them?
That should break the spell.
They're in a trance, right?
Everyone's like chained to these iron columns. And they're looking up as energy is arcing between them and Qualish's form in the middle. And the cage is kind of like pulsing with energy and then kind of glancing up and down the coils of chain.
Right, so Qualish is there and he's kind of I'm gonna try and see if telepathy
You're still in your
works.
cloud form. There's only so much you can do.
I can uncloud us.
Can we uncloud?
No.
You all can
we can all uncloud ourselves. I don't. I can. I have telepathy. You don't have to uncloud.
I think we should though. We can't.
We got to start doing something.
I uncloud.
You can always recloud. I think it's good for like an hour or something.
For 8 hours.
It's good for 8
hours. Oh, you're right.
It's good for 8 hours, but it takes a minute to cloud.
To like,
well, I want to uncloud so I can.
I start to uncloud.
Shooting those skulls.
You're shooting the skulls.
So, anyways, I start blasting.
Wait, are we still?
When in doubt, blast it out. That's what I say.
Are we still anti-magic?
I'm gonna go look at the skulls.
Which one?
7 of them. I'm gonna roll a 7-sided die.
Or a D8 -1.
Yeah, but that's dumb.
Or do you have a 7-sided die? Because that'd be really cool.
Called an online dice. Hello.
Oh, motherfucker.
Weirdo.
Online,
I-
what's that? I don't understand what online means.
I got a 4. Fourth from like a clockwise position.
Yeah, that's envy, the 4th skull.
Whose pillar is that?
Who'd you
Sam's
put down for that
mom.
one, Fire?
It's Mima.
Asborn's
Oh yeah, it's
grandma.
Mima.
Yeah.
Don't hurt me,
Asborn's
Ma.
grandmother.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
go
fart face at
inspect
him.
Mima's skull.
I'm gonna
thing.
So as all of you
Approach.
solidify and land on the platform, Tyson's the first one to move. He begins to move towards the iron column that contains Asborn's grandmother. As you approach it, Tyson, you feel like you pass through a barrier within about 10 feet of it. For the rest of you, you watch as Tyson disappears.
I'm gonna approach Albin.
No,
Um,
stop,
Tyson?
Laura, stop. Stop. Dyson just disappeared.
I need to go to Albin.
Dyson just disappeared.
You
Hey,
watch as
where's,
Mara crosses over to where Albin is and disappears.
Hey, where's Dragon Lady at?
She stayed back with the ship. You guys didn't tell her to go with you.
Oh, she's that stupid. Okay.
She's like half dead.
No, she's not. Let's see. Is this an illusion?
Yeah, good.
Doesn't appear to be.
I'm gonna try and
Okay.
see if I can talk to Qualish.
So as you
Telepathically.
approach the cage.
I'm not approaching.
Okay. Well, then how are you going to talk to him?
Hey, Qualish! Can you hear us?
As you
Wake
begin
up!
to-
Wake up,
As you
Wallace.
begin to kind of like yell, your
I said
voice is loud
telepathically.
at first.
What the heck?
What?
I said telepathically. I didn't.
Oh,
twice.
I thought you said you were okay. I didn't hear the telepathic part. That's my bad.
No, Tobias said I was yelling.
Uh,
I said telepathically.
So you get into his mind, and all you hear is screaming, intense pain, and screaming.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna see if he'll respond to me talking to him. Say, Qualish, how can we help?
I'm going to shoot the skull.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay. The one above my mom.
Okay. That'd be Wrath.
Let me minimize
How
this.
apropos.
So no magical stuff, right?
No magical stuff.
No magic.
So I don't understand. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Stop.
So
Make a normal
Chewing on
attack
me.
roll with your dex modifier and do the math.
No.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure it out right now. Okay. I have other things I can do though. Hang on a second. Now it's gonna be a bitch. Seriously.
Your magic works. Just items magic does not work.
I get it, but I'll have all these freaking pistols and stuff that are one-offs.
Magic bullets.
I don't know if that's got a plus. 'Cause
None
I
of
have
them
other-
do if they're magical.
Yeah, it just gives me a general plus. I have to break down my pluses now. So let me figure that out. Give me a second. I look at my pistols for a
Proficiency
second.
bonus. I think the plus would be your proficiency bonus, wouldn't it be?
Oh, my proficiency in my dex. Okay, I get it. Okay, so I see it. Okay.
So instead of plus
So-
18 to hit, it's probably
Yeah.
closer to plus 12.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so that's 15. Who in the hell's
it's a
making all kinds of
ricochet.
crazy sounds?
That's probably
Oh, I don't
fire.
want to talk about it. I mean, I don't want to hear it because we just heard you eat cookies.
You could have said something.
Both of you, shut up! Jesus.
You watch as the bullet ricochets off the skull.
It hits it, but it ricochets off.
Mm-hmm.
I put the next gun to my head and pull the trigger. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to
what
make
if,
it out of this.
Could I try casting a dispel magic, but only on the skull or on the one seal, not
Sure.
on the
Which
cage,
one?
not on anything else? Sorry, Atil, I'm gonna start with the one on my mom.
Okay. That's the one under pride, I
The
believe.
lines have been drawn.
What level are you casting it?
That's a question.
How many of us can cast dispel magic?
Can I do it at a level 5?
Sure. Roll a
I'll try
d20.
level.
I
not
also
gonna be
have
that
it,
easy.
but I'm out of 5th level spell slots. I only have 6 and 7 in 4th.
13. Do I need to add my spell attack?
I
Yeah.
believe so, yeah.
Then it is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You watch as your spell begins to coalesce around the seal. And you watch as the seal kind of absorbs the effect of the spell. And as it does, the color of the skull changes to an inert kind of like silver color. And then you watch as the silver skull is now sitting on top of the column. No longer
Dispel the
giving off
spells.
an arcane glow.
Dispel the spells. The skulls.
Well, wait. What else happened?
Nothing.
Okay. And that was the one over
The skulls.
your mother.
Yep. I'm gonna do another one over Atil.
I will do one over Tobias's mother. That's the one that he shot, right? Yeah.
Level 5 again.
Wait. Maybe we need to do them in order. 1, 2, 3. Samara's mother was 1. Let's do the yellow skull is my sister.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then the next one would be over a teal. So I'll do my sister.
Okay.
Let's do that one first and then do a teal.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know. So, yeah. I'm
Go
going to
for
try
it.
and dispel it.
Mara, I need you to make a constitution save, please.
Oh, why? What happened?
Because she
I
disappeared.
disappeared.
Oh, right. Got it. Okay.
15.
15. You are lost in the madness of envy. You're seeing pretty... Oh, wait, no, that's...
Glutton. Excess.
Gluttony. Yeah, you're in excess. You are seeing things that you shouldn't be able to see. Everything that Albin's ever done in his life is unfolding
unfortunate.
around you. A horrorscape of infidelity, murder, assassination, secrets
Yeah,
kept.
he does bad things.
As you take
No.
84 points of psychic damage.
Did we, by the way, rest when I wasn't here?
No.
No, because I'm already down over 100.
Now you're down 84 more.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
Ouchie.
See if you can eat a potion while you're,
I rolled a 2,
floating.
by the way.
Dyson, give me
That's
a
how that ended up happening. I have a plus
Dyson, give me
13
a
to
constitution
Constitution.
save, please.
Okay.
Roll better than a 2.
Yeah,
well,
'cause
roll
I
better
don't
than a
think
15.
I have a plus 13.
Well, I did roll max damage on you, Mara, so that was pretty
Oh,
rare
thank
for
you.
me. That was rare.
I got a 22.
Special.
Okay.
22. DC was a 21. You're lost in the curse of envy as you're watching everyone be a better wizard than you, but you see the false nature of it. As you claw at your eyes.
Yeah,
and
it is
face,
false. I'm a better wizard than everyone.
You recognize that this may not be a truthful reality, but yet you could feel the psychic oppression kind of force your inner self. You take half of 61 points of psychic damage. So 30
That is
points.
significantly less than what you took.
Yeah.
Tobias
So
is
that-
even a better wizard than you.
Now I know it's not real.
Dyson begins to scream in pain.
Mara is so good at the magic.
So, Fire, you're focusing on dispelling the greed seal, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
And Samara's doing the lust seal.
Well, you're doing yours first, you said?
Do the ones of the people that disappeared.
They don't know I'm taking massive amounts of damage.
I don't have to.
In order. If we do
If
them
it
in
worked
order,
on
we'll get
one.
them.
So you're casting at 5th level. Roll a d20.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay, you watch. Seal is undone. The skull rests in its silver form on top
was
of
the
the
yellow?
iron, the metal column. That was the yellow
That was
one.
the yellow one. All right.
So I cast on the next one,
Yeah.
Okay.
and I rolled a 16.
Is there a reason why you're casting from inside your closet?
Oh, can you not hear?
Like, yeah, it sounds like you're in your
How
closet.
weird and echoey.
Sound like Harry Potter.
It's those AirPods, man. They last for like an hour, and that's about it.
How about now?
Much better.
There you go.
Thank
Okay, then I'll just do that. Okay, so I rolled a 16. Well, that's with my spell modifier.
16. You watch as the seal holds. You watch as the energy cascades around it, and a bit of the form of the teal kind of fades.
Ah,
Like
shit.
her energy gets absorbed more, and you watch as the vortex casts up. I will say this much: both seal 1 and 2 being inert, there's no longer as much energy flowing from Qualish.
Fire, can you try this one?
Go
You're
fire.
muted.
Go fire. It's your birthday.
You're muted.
You're still muted.
You're
Fire.
muted.
I got to do my 6th level spell. Okay, so 6th level.
Okay.
Dispel magic. Okay. It's a +4. 18.
18. You watch as her imagery fades even more
Fuck, shit.
as the spell doesn't dispel. The skull
It's gonna
seal
be-
stays active. More arcane energy coming out and flowing from the center mass.
Can I cast guidance on myself before I do the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an ability check. Yeah.
I'm going
I'm
to do
okay with
that, and because we need to stop failing at this.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, a D4?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure
Okay.
you guys have inspiration too, don't you?
Oh, shit, I do.
I don't.
I have bardic inspiration. I forgot I was a bard.
Okay, so I'm casting it again. God damn it.
I have
What
failed
level are we right
miserably.
now?
I know, right? Level
Nice.
How long have we been playing?
Okay, but when's the last time I used bardic inspiration? I actually
Yes,
can't
that's
remember.
the problem.
That's the problem. We have a bard that's good for what?
I hit things
Nothing.
hard.
With
I'm a silly bard.
with my guidance, it's an 18.
Doesn't
That still didn't do
succeed.
it.
Damn
The
it.
spell, the seal still holds.
Guide me.
I'm
Killing
using
heal.
bardic
How
inspiration
about
on
my,
you.
how about my little homunculus?
Guidance?
See.
Well, your homunculus would have followed you, wouldn't he?
We leave them on the ship sometimes.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah, with Dragon Lady.
I'm going to use
Yeah, I
One of
like
my-
Dragon Lady.
bardic inspirations. Or
Well,
my,
indeed,
yeah,
work
my-
like Dragon Lady.
D10.
All right.
Still likes her.
I
You guys
got
stay away from Tobias's woman.
14, 18, and then one of my inspirations. Let's see. I still have a D4 of inspiration from the Earth Mother's anointment. Can you use that?
Yeah.
Oh, +4. I got a 22.
You watch as the seal shimmers, dispels. The silver skull is on top of the iron column as it goes inert. The power lessens.
All right, next one.
Is envy.
Okay, I
the one
have.
that
I
Mara
have.
that disappeared into.
I have
No.
another 5th
Oh, I'm
level.
sorry, Thyson.
No,
Thyson.
no. But I have inspiration, like up the yin yang, because I've never used it.
Can you inspire other people or only yourself?
Only yourself.
No, it's my inspiration that
Yeah.
I.
She has been
you know, had.
inspired.
Okay.
Yes.
She's
So
kept
She's
track
been
of
use
inspired
that one.
because she has a
I
lot
have.
of
Do
I
you
kept
need
track
it?
of all of them.
Do you need another bardic inspiration? I can do it.
Are you the meaning
Sure,
in
I'll do a
someone's
bardic.
life?
Yours is how much? Yours is a
D10.
D12? D10?
D10.
Okay, D10.
Wildfire, you're looking amazing today. Good job.
Thank
Do you know
you.
that I could do this? I didn't know I could do this until like 10
Sam,
seconds.
guide me.
Guidance. Boop.
Okay. All right. So, fudge nuggets. This is. I really hope we don't have to.
Inspiration.
Okay, that's stupid.
Use
I know, but all right. I have to roll anyways. What's the lowest thing for a dispel magic?
Fifth level.
No. Dispel magic
Say-
is a third level
sorry,
spell.
okay, third
Just gonna
level.
use my third level spell. So I have to roll anyways.
Good
All
enough.
right. That's a 14 plus guidance is plus 4, so that's 18 plus the d20 from D10, and I got the 0. That's the
10.
10.
10. Awesome. So that's
28.
28.
The fourth
Barely does
skull
it.
goes inert. It forms at the top of the column.
Oh,
And as
shit,
it
where's my-
does, you watch as the veil that Thyson had walked into fades, and Thyson is back on the platform with the rest of you.
Is he still
Tyson!
feeling envious?
No, he looks pretty worse for wear as he took a significant amount of psychic damage. He is still pretty squishy.
Do you need
Okay.
a heal?
Well, I'm channel divinity. I'm gonna give him. Okay, how much is half your hit points? Is it more than 95 or less than 95?
It's
Or you're
3.
are you not
that's
at half?
I'm not even close to half.
Okay, then you're. I can't do it. All right.
Alright, you have better
So
spells than me. I can heal him, and that way you
So
can save your
the
spells.
inert skulls.
Okay.
What's happening with them? Are these totally inert? Nothing's going
They're
to
just
and
these
from.
silver metal skulls sitting on top of the columns.
what's
Fire,
happening to the
I'm
people
under
that?
half. Just
Okay.
FYI.
What's happening to the people that are under those inert skulls?
Give me a perception check.
Thyson, if I give you 70, is that good?
It's way over.
That's way over.
I got a 15.
Bruh.
15. They
I
still
took
seem
30 damage.
They
Bruh.
still seem entranced
Bruh.
looking up at the vortex.
Still seeing trans looking up at the vortex. Okay, we're going to orange and gluttony next.
Okay, like the clerics
Okay.
are mad because we don't have more damage.
Guidance. And can you bardic inspiration again?
So no one needs to be mad. I'm down 140
Wow.
hit points.
Wildfire,
Yeah.
you know
Come back, we'll
you do
show you.
so much healing for this team. You're so fantastic. You help us
Thank
out
you.
so much.
Give me
my
one too,
gosh, thank
pisser.
you so much. Thank
Oh
you
my
so
god,
much.
Thyson, have I ever told you you're the best magician ever across
I
all universes?
literally know that. I literally know that.
I know, but I'm just letting you know that we know as well, you know?
Right?
Alright, I'm out of bardic inspirations. Go help yourselves. Shoo.
Okay, so I got a 14 and a 3. That's 17 and a 9.
26.
26.
It's 26. Oh, plus
You
my
watch
modifier, which is
as
4.
the fifth seal goes
30.
inert, and Mara is now back.
Okay, Mara, I can heal you.
Okay.
Let's see. How many do we want?
All right. Let's go for Tobias's mother, Wrath. Guide.
Well,
Can
hold on.
you do
Samara.
guidance again?
if
I hope
channel
everyone's
divinity
keeping
was
track of all
better.
this.
Wait, what?
My spell
Fine.
slots, you mean?
Keeping track of what?
Well, it's a lot of spell slots are being used. Bardic inspiration
Oh, I
are
know.
being used.
I'm
Inspiration
just
to the
taking
stack
Yeah.
are being used.
Yeah.
I was
Just keep
telling
track
her
of
that.
Yeah.
your stuff is all I'm saying. Go ahead, Mara. Did you say something earlier?
I was gonna say I was telling Samara to hold on to see if channel divinity is a better heal.
I can give you 95 hit points. But it will only. I can only get you to half.
You could only give me 2 half?
Mhm.
Correct.
Oh. Well, what's half?
But I can do 95 split between however many people.
Oh,
Or I can.
But
just
I
give
can
you
only
70
get
right
people
now.
up to half.
right. Well, I am under half, but I feel like getting me to half is not going to be great. It's Samara
It
going to be
says
over
this
half.
feature can restore a creature to no more than half of its hit point maximum.
I could get you to 90, but that's gonna burn my 8th level spell.
I really hope that this is real, and it helps.
Oh my god.
So I'm only 18 points under half. So
Okay,
why
then
don't
we
we
can
hold
wait.
on? Well, let's finish this little project and then we'll worry about it.
Oh, this
Yeah.
little project. Just step one of saving the world. Okay.
Step one of saving the world. Okay.
You drink a
Is there
potion.
any? There's like no one around. Do we want to take 10 and cast this as a ritual instead of using spell slots?
But it's
I
also
have
I
draining
have a
his-
feeling something's going to come and screw with us.
Yeah. It's draining
Okay.
Qualis with life force.
Oh,
We have 2 more, but it's been doing it for months. So I mean,
No, I think it's stepped up a
Okay.
little bit.
Guidance.
And there's people here.
if I pull out a healing potion, does it look like it still works?
Ooh, I got a natty 20.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks effervescent and active.
Hey, Samara.
Do
our magic items look like they're magic?
No.
Boop. Still not.
No,
Okay.
no. Shut up.
I got,
Can I drink this?
Yes, drink it.
Jason, I got a natty 20.
On the Wrath seal, it goes inert, turns
Yep.
back into its physical self. There's 1 seal remaining.
Okay, if I-
Tyson, do you want to do this one?
Sure.
Or do you want me to do this one?
I just said sure.
Okay.
You
Okay,
still
I
have my
agree.
bardic inspiration, right? Have you used it?
Oh, he has Bardic Inspiration. Perfect. Do that.
All right.
Okay, I drink
Tyson
the
can handle it.
potion. Does it do anything?
Guidance.
Am I healed?
Yeah, I'll take the guidance too.
What healing potion did you take?
Superior.
When can I shoot
Um,
something?
Superior, which is how many?
Let you shoot something
88
in the-
plus 8.
Go
8d4
ahead.
plus 8.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay, cool.
All right, with my roll and all my bonuses, I got a 32.
As you watch the final seal undo itself,
Oof.
and the silver skull goes inert above the column, you watch as each one of the chains break free.
Okay.
You watch as the cage around Qualish fades,
And now we have to fight Qualish.
and as you look up, the vortex stops moving and just stays perfectly still, just pulsing, not moving, just kind of there, pulsing.
Are
And then you can
people
hear a scream of anger, failure, and a level of contempt unlike anything you've ever heard, but it has a familiar accent to it.
Yeah, come here, bitch. Let's
As
go.
you recognize Shulaman's scream.
Ah!
Gross.
Take it like a man!
Come here, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're going to be screaming some more, bitch!
And then you watch as tendrils of arcane lightning
shit?
come
Can we go-
crashing down towards all of you. I
How
need
do our
everyone
magic
to give
items look?
me a deck save, please.
I'm saving. 21.
Crap.
Okay.
22.
Okay.
I am not dexterous.
21.
Okay.
18.
Okay. What'd you get, Mara?
22.
Okay. Dyson?
6.
Oh God.
Oh,
Right.
wait.
Standing by me.
I got a 28.
Okay. So
I
Tobias, I
think I
think
can
you
help
can
you.
uncanny dodge this, correct? Because it's a deck save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if it's one of those
If it's
things,
an
yeah, I
area.
can also uncanny dodge it.
Oh, it's only an
Okay.
attack.
And
Never
take
mind.
0 points of damage.
Okay. So as you're kind of doing the Groot dance in between the strikes of arcane energy crashing down into the platform, if you rolled a 20 or higher, you saved. You'll take half of 82 points of lightning damage.
Oh, perfect.
Wait,
Yeah,
would
I'm
Shield
rolled
Master
a-
help me here?
If you rolled a 19 or less, you take 82 points of lightning damage.
I'm very ouchy. Quick question though. Was
now
that
you
like-
can
Sorry, hold
hear
on.
41.
echoing
It is-
above
Eight-
you
you take 80
Shulaman's voice.
And it was at
51.
82.
I will show you the other end of hell. I will fold your brains into your skulls, and I will carve your bodies into the dirt.
Was
Can
the
I ask you
number
something?
82? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh,
We really should have done Heroes Feast before we came in here.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Mara?
Was the number 82 the damage?
Correct.
Also, does
now it's full
Shield
or
Master help you? Help you?
82 if you
Okay,
failed, 41 if you succeeded on a 20 or higher.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Does Shield Master help, Father?
Yeah.
I'll say you can have it again.
Wait.
So I
He
can see
has anyone
Asborn puts a
behind you,
shield
right?
in front of you and kind of causes that energy to disperse out.
Yeah, anyone behind me also.
My muscles spasm from
so-
electricity. I give you a thumbs up.
I have a thing. I have a feat now that when something attacks, I get these gigantic wings that come out like a shield. Would that have anything?
Yeah, I'll say you can have it again. I'm okay with that.
So it was 82 halved and then halved.
Yep.
That makes me much happier. That was very ouchy.
question. Now that everything's kind of stopped, is our magic items working again?
No, they are not.
What
We're
are
just
the
the
Shadowfell
in the wrong
thing?
place, man.
folks on the
We're in
polls
wrong
doing?
place.
Are they still pretty comatose?
I mean, they're still staring up into the vortex that's now stopped, still pulsing with energy. And somewhere deep up in there, you could see a figure hovering up in the vortex. Dyson, since you are proficient in this spell, go ahead and give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Okay. God, I got an advantage. Thank God I got an advantage. 24.
You watch as a pinpoint of light begins to form, and a meteor begins hurling towards the platform. The explosion fractures the platform. You watch as different pieces of the platform begin to fall away. I need everyone to make dex saves again, please. You're muted, Fire. We can't hear you.
Natty 20.
24.
They're saying,
Okay.
how long does that meteor take to fall to hit?
A few seconds.
Do we get?
It's
Oh,
fast.
okay.
It's
30.
fast. Yeah.
22.
I also got
You
a
said
22.
Dex.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a 30.
Okay.
I did not. I got a 13.
So, the moment of impact of the crater or of the meteor, the entire platform shatters.
I might be dead.
When the platform shatters, you watch
can we
as
die?
the vortex collapses around. And there you can see the nightmare distended form of Shulaman hovering above on some kind of metallic disc that he's standing on. Everybody who rolled a 19 or higher will save and take half of 102 points of fire damage.
Can I hide behind Asborn?
Currently,
Oh, if it's fire damage, then I take none. And whoever's next to me.
Currently, the platform is fractured and falling. Pieces of it are plummeting to the ground at different intervals. Each of you are separated from each other and currently plummeting the 300 feet towards the ground. People are still tied to the iron poles as well, as not only the platform itself is now falling, the tower is fractured and falling apart as well, as you're completely surrounded by fire and ruin of rock and brick tumbling around you. The only thing that you see that's quite interesting is Tobias leaping from fractured point to fractured point, trying to avoid all the ruin and dodging the meteor swarm that strikes. You guys are currently falling.
You know what?
The people strapped to the metal columns are falling alongside with you.
Did you say 102 points?
102.
Of fire,
If you rolled 18 or less, you take 102. If you rolled 19 or higher, you take half of 102. It is fire damage, so if you're resistant to fire, you can have it again.
Could I do my wing thing again?
Are you able to do it multiple times?
I am.
Okay, then that would have it.
And just to check with you, I take no damage because of Shield Master. Because if it allows half
Correct.
damage, I take no damage.
Correct,
right?
but I'll allow
Okay.
Tyson to only take half of half if he saved.
How long will it
And
take us to
wow.
fall
I
300
will
feet?
say Asborn and Thyson are falling together. Mara, you're falling alongside Albin. Mara, you're falling in between Atil and your mother. Fire, you're falling near your sister. And then Tobias, you're falling in between your parents. Asborn and Thyson, you're falling nearest Asborn's grandmother. Because those were the most concerned people you would have seen at that last moment before you reacted to the meteor strike hitting the platform.
Is there ground beneath us? How far?
It's about maybe a couple thousand feet below you.
Okay.
A couple thousand. Okay.
We got a bit.
You're about a mile, almost a mile up in the air.
How far
On
away
this
is
platform.
everybody from each other?
You're strewn, I would say, to make it easier for everybody, with the exception of Tobias, because he's actively interacting with his environment to avoid all the damage. So he's constantly moving. I would say you're all within about 60 to 90 feet of each other.
Oh.
How much
long would it
closer to
take
60
fall
feet?
For a mile.
It'll probably take you a minute.
Could I turn into a cloud?
Just a minute?
Yeah, but you're.
Yeah, but
Albin didn't.
Albin can't.
Oh, yeah.
If you all change into cloud, well, Thyson, could
I'm
you?
going to start undoing my sister, unchaining my sister.
Okay, give me sleight of hand as you begin to work at the bonds on her wrists and her waist.
Oh, no, I'm
they're
cutting them.
I thought it was like metal and stuff.
They are metal chains.
Oh, you said okay.
Well, bonds can be metal. Bonds
Sure.
is just a description of restraint.
Uh,
Because the hole in the trench to blow up the Death Star is the fact that he tied everybody up with string.
I got a 17.
17. You manipulate the manacles, her hands fall free, but her waist is still strapped. So give me another sleight of hand as you work at that one.
Wow,
still
another
strapped.
17.
All right. She falls away from the column. You grab onto her, and the two of you are now tumbling amongst the ruin. Both of you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage from the fractured rock. I'll track her hit
Do I
points.
get a dodge for that?
Yeah, you can have it if you want. Sure.
Okay.
Say it's 7.
Then I'm going to heal myself.
Okay, as you're falling, you're holding on to your sister. You quickly heal yourself.
Well,
Anybody else?
I'm
As
actually
I
gonna
wanna-
I'm gonna cast heal. That's my 9th level spell. Mass heal, 700 points between everybody.
What's the maximum range on that?
60 feet.
I would say Samara, Mara, and Tobias is moving too much. I'd say Samara, Mara, yourself, and their people they're trying to help are the only ones in range. Asborn and Thyson are further down. Tobias is further off to your left.
Okay.
I don't. Let me see what I'm at right now. Oh my god.
Are you doing it?
I can only do it once, and I'm at 6 hit points.
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm way low too.
I'm fine. I'm at 195.
You
out of
can't-
250.
Well, you're out of range.
Pretty
Yeah.
fine.
You're out of range.
Asborn, Thyson, and Tobias, the three of you take 21 points of
Ooh, who'd we
bludgeoning
lose?
damage.
We lost Thyson. We lost
Yeah, my
Thyson.
son.
Is it a
While
dice?
this
Is it a dice
happening-
thing? Like,
There's no
I'm-
check.
I'm
You just
200
take that
points
damage.
down.
damn it.
Okay, well,
Something wrong.
it's 700 divided by us.
All right. Well, I take my 21 points back then.
While
I
this
don't
is
think
happening,
I don't
I'm
think any
gonna
of us are
cast
going to need more
haste
than
on myself.
You guys realize when you talk over each other, I can't hear you.
yeah.
So what are you doing, Angela?
I have a buzzer icon.
I am going to cast haste.
Okay, you are now hasted.
I'm going to haste Dyson as well.
Dyson is now hasted.
Samara, how many points do you need?
A lot. How many did we get?
I
need, like-
700 between the three of us.
I need like 100.
I need 200.
All right, so that's 300 gone between
We're
the
good.
two of you. So fire, Samara takes 100 and Mara takes 200. You're muted. You're muted. Remember, you guys, if you mute yourselves, I can't unmute you. Otherwise, I would.
Okay.
So I know it's easy to forget.
I know. Well, sorry, Sebastian was screaming.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I only needed like 163, so because
Okay.
my total hit points is only 169. So yeah, and then the rest can go to the people that were chained. And like Qualish.
So fire,
we wanna
you
heal
currently
Qualish?
cast
Is
that.
Qualish falling
You
too?
don't. You give me a perception check as you look for him.
Should we heal him? I don't feel like we want to heal him.
22.
22. You do not see him anywhere.
He's not falling.
There's a huge amount of rubble and rock, and this huge tower is just slowly coming apart around as all of you are tumbling through the debris, tumbling
as
down
we're doing all of
with it.
this, I want to keep an eye out for him too. So
All right, that's gonna
let's
finish you for now. Samara and Mara, what are you two doing?
Go ahead, Mara.
Well, I want to try to get Albin's attention. Can I like get him to look at me? If I like speak to him or like smack him in the face, will he look at
Well,
me?
he's currently falling alongside you.
Right. No, I understand. But like you said, he was looking up.
Yeah,
Like
he still is. He's looking
right. Can I
up as
get his attention?
He's about 15 feet off to your left. I'll say if you want to give me a strength check to try to push yourself off of a piece of debris to get closer to him.
I am not strong. Oh, I rolled well though. Strength check. That's just a 15.
Yeah, that's DC. You kick off a piece of debris that you're standing on and leap over and grab on to where he's bound to the metal pole. As soon as you hit the pole, this fractured piece kind of tumbles slightly as it's now tumbling with the two of you falling and falling. He's now conscious, aware. His eyes blink as he sees you. He croaks like he's trying to talk to you, but he's in so much pain and he's so heavily injured from what was happening. He's having a hard time forming words.
Okay, but he's with me again?
Mm-hmm. As
Okay,
much as
so
he can be.
Now that he's with me again, I want to get him out of his bonds. So can I
Okay.
try to undo?
Sleight of hand.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if that's going to do it. Sleight of hand. 16?
No, you fumble with the manacles and they don't come undone.
All right. Next round, I guess I'll try again.
Well, you can try again.
Yeah, I'll try again.
You have some time. Takes a
Oh,
while
that
to
was,
fall.
that was
a
even
mile.
worse. That was really
Yeah,
shitty.
I
That
mean,
was
as
like
you're
9.
tumbling, you're struggling with the manacles. Samara, what are you doing?
So theoretically,
I
if
love how you start every
always theoretically, if I have already cast Windwalk, I don't get to cast it again, or does it matter?
What does the spell say?
Windwalk, it says you and 10 willing creatures that you can see. Now I've already cast it on a 6.
Right.
How many times a day can you cast it?
I mean, it doesn't have a limit. It just has like it's a level
Then you can
6
cast it.
spell. So I could cast it on the remaining people that are in our party. That
Yeah, but I believe it's concentration, isn't it?
no, it's
It's duration.
Mm-hmm. Takes lasts 8 hours.
last 8 hours. You
I
can
would
cast it.
say from your position, give me a perception check, and I'll tell you how many people you can see.
It's not bad. Hold on. Perception. 16
Might
and
be what
7,
saves you
so
guys. This is pretty
23.
cool. 23. You can see where Mara is struggling slightly down below you on a tumbling piece of fragment, trying to undo Albin. You could also see a teal to your left and your mother to the right. Their fragments are tumbling nearby as you're tumbling as well. Fire has a hold of her sister and is still falling off to your left. You do not see Asborn or Thyssen, but you can see Tobias is leaping, trying to get towards where his parents are tumbling away.
So I can see his parents.
You can see his two parents.
So basically, I can see everybody except for Mima.
You can't see Asborn, can't see Thyssen, and you cannot see Asborn's grandmother.
Okay.
Or Tobias.
Sorry, Asborn, you're gonna have to solve that problem. I'm gonna wind walk the rest of them.
Mars, you're struggling with the bindings. You watch as Albin turns into a cloud and drifts away from you as the force continues to pull you down.
I turned into a cloud.
You watch as your sister turns into a cloud. Samara, both Atil, your mother do. Tobias, you watch as you're leaping towards where your parents are. They turn into clouds as well, and all of them are now drifting away, like away from the center of the mass that's falling. Tobias, Asborn, and Thyson, what are the three of you doing at this point?
Screaming.
I'm
falling. Well, if I had any magic to save me, I would, but I don't have any magic that will save me.
You can turn into a cloud.
You can turn into a cloud still.
It's good for an hour.
How long does it take?
It's good for 8 hours.
It takes
It's
a
good for
minute.
8 hours, and
It takes a minute. I'm falling to my death. Am I going to
It's
fall
gonna
for
take
a
longer
minute?
than a minute.
You
Oh, that
give me a
miles.
survival check as you look down at the cascading rubble and the ground that's beginning to get closer.
I guess it's going to be like a 15. Yeah, 15.
You got about a minute.
Okay, I wish and wish and hope and hope. Turn me into a fart, please.
Asborn and Thyson, you've seen wisps of cloud leave the debris pile around you that's falling all around you. But Asborn, you're clamoring, pulling yourself towards your grandmother's, where she's still fastened to that column. Thyson, you're nearest Asborn, since she was using the shield to protect you during that time. What do the two of you want to do? You have about a minute.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where is my echo right now? Because I never de-summoned it. Is it falling with us?
It's falling alongside you, yeah.
Okay.
It only has one hit point. It's probably gone.
Honestly, yeah. It probably got smashed.
Yeah, it probably
by
got
a
hit
rock.
with a pebble.
I would say even if it did well on the save when the meteor struck, or when that first electrical storm struck, I mean, that probably would have done it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, me, Alex, or Asborn, Mima's had a good run, you know. We got other things to do.
You
She's
watch
lived a
Tyson-
good, healthy
You
life.
watch as Dyson turns into a cloud.
That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm doing.
Well, you got about a
Okay.
minute till you hit the ground.
Tell me your silly little
Asborn,
idea.
it's chain pattern delta maneuver.
Roger, I salute.
Do it, you first.
Okay. Please explain to me your plan.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna get him. Okay.
Okay, what does that mean?
We're gonna go grab him.
Yes.
I need you to bundle him up, and we're gonna
Uh-huh.
go down. And I'm gonna make us get all out of here. Okay. I don't want to say it too descriptively. Okay.
Okay. So the question is, he is floating like a mile above us. We need to dimension door twice.
How high above us is he right now?
Who?
Shulamon.
Suleiman, he's pretty high up. I would say
So
he's
we're really
a good,
just gonna leave Mima there.
I would say that he's a good 200 to 300 feet away. He's being very,
Oh.
very.
200 to 300. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we can save Mima also.
All right. You want to bust out Mima now, or do it later? Your choice.
Okay, so we have you. Do we have your homunculi with us?
Yeah, he's floating next to me. He's falling with us. He's a good guy, good boy.
Okay. Homunculi.
Tyson reaches out, taps the head of his adipose, just as two boulders come together.
Oh!
Oh God.
The
Okay.
humanity.
Okay. You dimension door us. I do the thing.
Yeah. Okay. Me and Alex are gonna dimension
Dimension-
door right on top of Shulamon.
With Mima.
Oh.
Or is the homunculus dimension
Mima
door?
will be fine. Mima will be fine.
Dimension door can only take one person.
Yeah.
Okay, so we dimension door first to Shulamon.
Who is?
And me and Tyson, because it's a range of 500 feet, we're gonna descend straight up. And as I'm gonna prepare two things. As soon as because I have haste, I can do two things, right?
Okay.
So, as soon as we come out of the dimension door, I am going to cast silence, and I will grapple him at the same time.
Okay. To do all this will consume a minute.
All right.
So what's the plan for Mima again, Tyson?
Okay, here's the plan. As soon as that's done, my thing is as soon as like he goes up, and I don't even need me for this. Wait, you don't even need me for this. You can just do it by yourself.
What? I need someone to dimension door me.
No, you dimension. Oh yeah, I have to dimension door you up. That's right. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, no. My homunculus is gonna dimension door you up.
Okay. And then you save Mima then. Homunculi dimension doors me.
Yes. Homunculus dimension
Okay.
doors you up.
So you have an action still, and your homunculus still hasn't. Oh no, your homunculus is out. I give you haste.
Yeah.
Remember? Don't forget.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my action to try and like I don't know, use like a cantrip like fireball to kind of like melt away the chain, like a power saw, like kind of.
A whole ass fireball.
It's just not fireball. It's a firebolt
Oh, firebolt. I mean,
because that's like cantrip, so I can still
Yeah,
cast spells after
we'll
that.
coordinate a check for that. See if it works.
I thought dimension door doesn't matter if anything's tethered to them. You just take them if you touch them.
As long
Well,
as
I'm
they're
trying to get her
willing.
out of the chains.
No, I'm saying if you
Well,
dimension
dimension
door
door
her,
him out of the chains.
The
If you
chains,
dimension
yeah.
door him.
I need that spell. I still need to cast like an actual spell besides dimension door.
Why
Can't
do
you
need
take
to cast
somebody
another
with you?
spell?
You'll see. You'll see. It's gonna be great. Hold on.
Wait.
This all started because this man messaged me on Discord. Plan Omega Delta. We have never talked about Omega Delta before.
It's chain pattern delta. Get it right.
Chain
Oh my.
pattern delta.
Okay.
Chain pattern delta.
Okay, so he will go
I
up,
miss you guys.
grapple silence.
Okay,
Hold.
I have my thing. You need to figure out your stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna cut Mima loose with firebolt and melt the chain off.
Let's do that
And
first.
then I'm gonna hold the 9th level spell gate for when he grapples Shulamon.
Okay,
Your
it's
dad's
gonna
sweating right now
There's
thinking
a
about
lot.
this.
Well, no, there's a lot of timing here because there's obviously things that Shulamon can do too in his current form. So Asborn, you're dimension dooring
Through the
up-
homunculi.
with the homunculi
Mhm.
up to where you could see Shulamon.
On Shulamon.
Well, you could see him, so you're going to try to land on him, correct?
Yes.
That's what your goal is.
The goal is to land on him, yes.
Okay. You and Thyson are going to go simultaneously, so I want to resolve it the same way.
Mhm.
Because as soon as Tobias is about to hit the ground, he's going to cloud and zoom away.
Mhm.
Because everybody else is in cloud form at this point. Those that were still falling will probably just barely turn before they strike the ground as well. It takes you a minute to cast it, doesn't it, Samara?
It takes a minute if you're changing, but I think the first time is instantaneous. Hold on.
If the first time is instantaneous, which I think it is.
Yeah, the
Did
first
that
time's
right.
instantaneous,
Okay.
but reverting takes a minute.
Okay, so Tobias is so you, Mara, Fire, and Tobias are going to convert just before you hit the ground. The others have already drifted off. Tyson, explain to me what you're trying to do again.
I am cutting Mima free with a chain.
Well, first of all, you got to get to her.
Oh, am I not?
I thought he was next to her.
He's
I just-
near her. I didn't say next.
Okay,
Near
I'm
her.
gonna swim through the air.
I'll say, give me a strength check as you kick off a piece of the debris to try to get closer to her.
Oh, good throw. 18.
18. You tumble ass over kettle, and you manage to grab onto her. You firebolt into her manacles, and then what do you do?
Okay, and now I am holding gate, waiting for Asborn to come tumbling down with Shulamon.
How
Like
are you
Rick
gonna
Honor.
live though?
Watch!
Okay.
So, as this all goes on, Asborn, you appear literally right behind Shulamon. His form is bigger than you expected, as he is a fully elongated, lich-like creature that you could feel a necrotic presence immediately begin to pummel into your physicality I need both you and the homunculus to make Constitution saves, please.
Oh, that homunculus
die.
is dead. 19.
DC's a 20.
Oh, don't die.
Hey, Homunculus is just dead.
Do you want to roll for the homunculus or not?
No, I mean, he's dead. He has 1 HP, dude.
Okay. So you immediately feel the homunculus that you were holding on to just turn to gelatinous kind of like magical goo that just dissipates around you. You feel tendrils of necrotic energy begin to pummel into your form, and you're held in place. You're just held there as you take 205 points of necrotic damage. And
I am done.
You're currently stunned and being held telekinetically by this strange necrotic vapor as he holds you nearest him and keeps you from falling. But the two of you begin to drift out of the eye line of Thyson. Thyson, you watch as Asborn disappears out of your sight. You
Oh
no
my
longer
god,
see
tell me there's a
Shulamon.
chrono shift or some shit like that Dyson can do to make him come back.
Wait, you can make
What
me
the hell?
save. You can make me save.
I can do that.
I think he
before
has to
does
be.
It's
Thyson, the
either you
ground is
save
getting
it
really close.
because
Alright,
either
or-
way
okay,
you
I'm
can't
gonna go
kill
back.
him.
I'm gonna make Asborn save on the necrotic save.
Okay. So you take half of that damage, Asborn.
What was it?
205 points of necrotic damage.
But
So 102.
it might
205, so 102. 175 minus 102 is 73. I have
Yep.
73 hit points left.
Okay.
well,
And because you
mm,
saved,
okay.
you are not considered restrained and stunned.
Okay. What's so I'm still alive and I can do things. I still have my 2 actions. What size class is Shulamon right now?
He's
As-
considered large.
Large. I am medium, so I can still grapple him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do you want to
I have-
contest with?
Don't you have
Athletics or
anti-magic?
acrobatics?
Do you have anti-magic sphere?
No, I don't have. I'm a bard. I don't have anti-magic sphere.
I don't know. What
I
you
do.
have.
they
Let me
have
whip that out.
You,
Yeah, I
you
have
guys check
anti-magic
that.
field.
I'm gonna do my athletics right now.
Okay.
Okay,
go
I
for
got a
it.
3, but I'm gonna use lucky to reroll.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 34.
34.
I wonder if anti-magic field would make our magic items work
You
since they
feel your
don't work
form
right now.
grapple onto him, but you immediately take 18 points of necrotic damage touching his lich form. But you've
Okay.
got him grappled.
And then I'm also going to silence us.
So you're doing silence at the same time?
Yes.
He will
Through
burn a
haste.
legendary resistance to prevent that.
Okay. And then what do I have for bonus action?
Thyson, at this point, you will not change into a cloud in time before you hit the ground. So I hope you have an alternative plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
just
I'm going to
Yeah,
use
it's fine.
second wind
Okay?
for my bonus action.
Okay.
That is 9 hit points. Not much, but it's something. And then
Are familiars still flying around? Because
wait,
could also possibly send Pepper and Ember to give him something.
I am going to use action surge.
Pepper and Ember.
Pepper and Ember would likely die before getting close to them.
I mean, I'd need a
Oh, my gosh,
perception
it's very
check.
dexterous.
I mean, I need a perception check to see if they could see them. If they could see them, they have to wind their way through all the falling.
There is
rubble to
absolutely
get
no
to 'em.
reason not to do that. By the way.
Yep. No, I agree.
Well,
Not to
this
do
is
that.
try it.
16 for Pepper.
Okay.
Let me
Pepper.
find out what
Pepper
Ember's
can
bonus.
see Asborn, and Asborn is above the debris field. She
Can
can see
Pepper-
that Asborn is currently grappling Shumalan's lich. Shumalan's
Shulamon.
Shulamon's lich form, and she seems to be tumbling and grappling and trying to restrain him, but she is taking a lot of damage. She's looking rough.
But can Pepper zoom up And
take her a
walk
few
with a wing.
seconds to. I mean, probably.
The falcon
there
is
in
really
time.
fast.
Yeah.
I only got an 11. Ember doesn't have any bonuses for perception.
Ember doesn't see anything. Just sees falling debris and rubble.
Can
Doesn't
she
really
see
know where to
Pepper?
go.
Can she see
well,
Pepper?
I mean, you've got to give me at least some idea of where she's looking. So if she's looking into the debris field, if she's looking directly up, she's looking up through the debris field because of the amount of. Because I'm assuming she would have been with you. Because if you don't tell me where they are beforehand, I'm just going to assume they're with you.
Usually mine is in my pocket in a coin form.
Okay. So
Mine is usually flying around.
You're able to toss her in the air, but you're still falling and focusing on turning back into cloud form like everybody else is.
Yeah.
She turns into her dragon form, and she is now dodging and weaving in between the falling debris and does not see anybody.
Okay. She's going to keep looking.
Okay. That's fine. So Thyson, Asborn's done a lot already. Before you do anything, Tobias, you're still focusing on turning into a cloud like everyone else is.
Yeah.
So Thyson, what are you going to do at this point?
Wait. I'm actually not done. I action surged.
Okay.
And
so
then
this will
I'm
be
going.
the last thing you can do.
Yeah, I am going to silence. I'm gonna try and silence him again.
It's too much of a threat. He will burn a second legendary resistance on that.
30.
Fear me.
Asborn, 39 points of healing.
Thank you.
You feel something like a feather smack you on the ear. I need Pepper to give me a con save, please. Smart. You're muted, Samara, by the way. I didn't hear a thing you said.
17.
17, that'll fail. Pepper will take 32 points of necrotic damage. After striking Asborn, just kind of tumbles and vaporizes into his fey form. And it's
Did she... Okay. Sorry, I was paying attention to Sebastian. Did she make it to Asborn?
Yep.
Get in time to give her some heal, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, Ember's gonna continue looking.
That's fine.
Asborn,
what are you doing?
He already did his thing.
Okay,
I'm
so
done.
Thyson,
Yep.
it's all on you.
It's time. Okay, so he's falling down, like he's grappled him and falling down towards us.
Nope, he's not falling.
I'm floating on him.
She's
floating
on him, yeah.
Yeah, you just have you and Mima to deal with. Asborn might be dead.
You're now about 400 feet away. Because they're not falling. They're stationary. In a few seconds, you're going to be 500 feet away as you're getting closer and closer to the ground.
I'm going to grab a hold of Mima. And I'm going to do a dimension door way up above Shulamon and Asborn.
So at 400 feet, you can do it 100 feet above them.
Yeah.
Okay. You are already holding on to her. She recognizes you, so she's at least willing. You yell at her what you're about to do, and the two of you dimension door up, and you're now 100 feet above and begin falling towards Shulamon.
Imagine if he counter spelled. Oh wait, no, counter spell is only 60 feet. Never mind.
Oh, I need to read this real quick.
Running out of time.
As before as possible when moving through its front.
He messed up the timing.
He
messed up the time. I'm gonna die. He messed up the timing. I'm never trusting this man with my character.
Oh no,
ever.
Chain Alpha Omega's breaking.
The moment
Pattern
he said,
Delta.
I need a
Oh,
read.
Chain Pattern
Oh my
Delta
God.
Omega's
Chain pattern
breaking.
Delta does not work. Chain pattern delta is always
Chain
on.
Pattern Delta.
We are going to. What do I got? Oh, I got this. I'm gonna do momentary stasis on Shulamon.
Okay, what's the save for that?
Constitution.
Con save. He will try for that one. 22.
I choose him to reroll.
Okay. 23.
Okay, fuck you.
You're now getting very close to Shulamon. You can feel the necrotic waves emanating off of his form. Asborn, give me another con save, please.
Oh God, how many lucky?
Oh wait! I forgot I had something.
Yeah. Do you have polymorph?
I have.
That took time. So
Adept.
Asborn con save.
Okay.
I have Meta Magic Adept, which allows me to impose disadvantage on a spell that does a saving throw.
He will burn a third legendary resistance on that to maintain his control.
I rolled a 22.
22. Take half of 21 points of necrotic damage. For as long as you're holding on to him, you're absorbing the necrotic energy that's emanating off his body.
I'm just turning into a zombie at this point.
I mean, you're looking pretty rough.
Can I go again?
I'd say at this point you're about to just pass right by him. You're holding on to the grandmother. The two of you are about to plummet right by him.
I'm going to.
What's your passive perception, Thyson?
Something really high. No, 12.
12? Give me a perception check then. Give you a chance.
I should
Oh,
just spell
no.
the tensor's floating disk.
The chance. That's a non-natural 20.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see a black familiar dragon beginning to come out of the horizon towards you as you recognize Fortuna's form, her polymorph form. And she is trying to bank and come towards you. And that's where we're going to finish tonight, folks. We're going to finish right there. And when we come back next week, it's going to be a long one. So unfortunately, you guys did not reach level 20. I apologize. Had you gone to participate with Albin and the others and deal with the Order of the Aspect, that was the other milestone. And you didn't go that way. So we're at our maximum level for our next
Side quest.
Now's the side quest.
Yes, we're gonna stop everything. We're gonna go. We're gonna free the Raven Queen from her imprisonment in the Shadowfell.
I'm gonna put my hand on Shulamant. I'm gonna move my hand onto his shoulder. Shulamant, we'll be right back. Can you wait here?
Can you wait? We gotta level up
like,
one more time.
We gotta go kill a bunch of orange Torkins and get some levels.
I'm not saying I'm
we
not
need to go to the
trying say you're
forest and
not
kill
important.
boars.
Shulamant, you're really important in my life. You know, you're like a key pillar in my life. But I really need to do this real quick.
So needless to say, when we come back next week, we'll be using the battle cam. Plan on for a potentially very long encounter. So get your character sheets in order because you guys burnt through a ton of shit.
And
I
put
think Thyson's the only one that hasn't quite burnt through a lot. I think he's got a lot in reserve. But for the rest of you, it's going to be a hell of a battle. However, with the vortex being dispelled when we come back, you will have access to your magical items.
Thank God.
and put some clothes on so you guys can be on cam.
Okay.
Or not. We don't care, but
I care.
I know you do.
All right, everyone. Get ready for next week. It's going to be our finale. And if you think you're going to survive, feel free to write your epilogue if you choose to. Because for those that don't die, they'll be able to explain what their characters do after the summation of our ending. As Shulamon is the final encounter of the arc. Plan on possibly a 4-hour session. I know it's a little rough on a Tuesday, but plan on
If
it just in case.
If our items were working, I had different ideas of things.
They're not
to
working
do.
yet. They will be working when we come back in. Remember, this is all simultaneous.
All simultaneous.
Activity.
Okay.
All you guys could do, it takes a minute of concentration to turn back into a cloud. If you deviate from that concentration, you're hitting the ground at 2,000 feet.
So how many d6 is that?
That's more than I can roll physically. So I'll be reverting to my 100 d6.
Right.
No, it's what, 5 feet per d6, so 5 feet into 2,000.
No,
feet
it's 10
is,
feet. It's 10 feet.
I thought.
No, it's
Oh
10
yeah, it
feet.
is 10
D6
feet. So it'd be 200
10 feet.
d6.
200 d6. You could do that on D&D Beyond. Actually, I'm going to go do
Thanks for
that.
coming out, everybody.
Technically, if all of them
Find
roll
us
one,
here
I
next
could live.
Tuesday as we present the season finale.
Let's see.
We will be wrapping up this campaign next Tuesday, Denizens and their masters, as we'll be taking on the partially lich dead form of Shulaman, while everyone is going to hopefully survive this final plummet. And Thyson and Asborn's really kind of cool Star Trek Delta pattern plan that didn't quite work as expected. However,
Chain
it
pattern
did cause a lot of legendary resistances to get burned. And Shulaman's form is going to be a lot weakened from that. So, with that, everyone, thank you for coming out. We'll see you next week. Everybody else hang out and linger so we can talk about schedules. Be kind, be safe, play a game. It's good for you. See you guys all next week. Or we'll see you. No, not Thursday. We're taking Thursday off. Or see you Saturday over at D&D Club, the Grain Lands. Or I believe you can watch Vince on Sunday.
I have a quick question.
What?
If Thyson was hasted, would that make his turning into a cloud faster?
I would say possibly, but he's less than 30 seconds away from the ground. No, actually, because he dimension doored up. Yeah, he would have concentration time to cloud, but it still wouldn't solve the Mima problem.
Mima, no!
Bye, Mima.
All right, everyone linger.
We'll always remember you.
We're going to say goodbye to everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye!
Hey.
Bye.
Eventually.